have the starting lineups now for the second ball game. And for Detroit, Mickey Stanley will be leading off and playing center field as Al Kaline gets a rest, but he'll be available for pinch hitting duties. Dick McAuliffe will be at second base, batting second. At third base and batting third will be Don Wirtz. Willie Horton will be in left field, batting in the cleanup spot. In right field and batting fifth, Jim Northrup. Jimmy Price, who pinch hit in the first game and got a base hit, will be doing the catching and batting in the sixth spot. At first base, batting seventh, Norm Cash. Ray Euler is the shortstop, hitting eighth. And Hank Aguirre, making his first start of the year for Detroit, will be pitching and batting ninth. For the Yankees, it'll be Horace Clark leading off at second base. At shortstop and batting second will be Dick Hauser as Ruben Amaro gives his bad knee a rest. Mickey Mantle at first base, batting third. In center field and hitting cleanup, Joe Pepitone, and Pepitone had a home run and a triple in that first game. Elston Howard doing the catching, batting fifth, so Ellie will be catching both ends of the doubleheader. In right field, batting sixth, Steve Whitaker. Bill Robinson will be in left field, batting in the seventh position. At third base, and this will be the first time he'll be playing third base for the Yankees this year, John Kennedy, and that is Kennedy's original position. The one he's best at is third base, so Kennedy playing third and batting eighth. And Fritz Peterson, looking for his first win of the year, will be pitching and batting ninth. The umpires will be Jerry Neudecker, calling balls and strikes, Larry Knapp at first base, Frank Humont at second base, and Bill Kinnaman at third base. So those are the starting lineups for today's second game. And now this word.
See, here's someone who knows baseball inside and out. The White Owl girl. Let me ask you, who's going to be the next Hall of Famer?
Personally, I think it will be that pitcher who's next White Owl. He has so much going for him. And then there's that other player, the catcher, the invincible man. He's always smoking one.
Yeah, I really like that catcher, invincible man. But who's going to walk off with the most valuable player award this year?
I'll vote for that outfielder. I forget his name, but you know him. He's a big Ranger fan.
Why do you pick these ball players to stand up?
Because they have such good taste. Someone who thinks the White Owl has. It's the way White Owl ages the tobacco. Mellows it to bring out that mild taste.
One more thing. Do you have any advice for a budding ball player who wants to make it to the big leagues?
I'll tell them to try White Owl. Find out why. You'll get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
So we had quite a first ball game. And the Yankees, who have taken 2 out of 3 from the league-leading Detroit Tigers, getting ready now for this big second ball game. A real fine crowd on hand. And it's a shirt sleeve crowd. And in the first ball game, we'll recap it for you briefly in case you missed it. With 2 out in the first inning, Mickey Mantle walked, and Joe Pepitone homered into the bleachers alongside the Yankee bullpen to give the Yankees 2 runs. Turned out that was all they needed, but they picked up 3 more in the 7th inning with 1 out. Bill Robinson hit a line drive, one of the hardest hit balls we've seen all year, to straightaway center field. Yes, Joe.
Well, you said Robinson. Bill Kinnaman, as I was going down the field, stopped me and said, I think I got a little story for you. I said, what's that? He said, when Robinson came up to hit, he said, take a look at the ball. And when Kinnaman looked at the ball, he said there was a dark spot on it. So Robinson said, I think that's been my problem. I haven't been looking at the ball enough. So he put a new ball in play, and that's the one he hit for the home run.
Holy cow, isn't that something? I do that every time up. Anyway, Robinson hit this bullet to straightaway center field. It caromed off the 463-foot sign, off one of the monuments in dead center field, away from Northrop, and Robinson had an easy inside-the-park homer. The Yankees added 2 insurance runs in the 8th inning when Amaro singled and Mantle lined a single to right. Kaline's throw went over the shortstop's head, allowing Amaro to score, Mantle to go to second. Keegan ran for Mantle at that point, and Elston Howard singled to drive in Mike Keegan. So the Yankees won it behind Al Downing, and Downing allowed just 5 base hits. He walked 3 and struck out 6. So right now, down at home plate, Mayo Smith, manager of the Tigers, and Ralph Houk, the skipper of the Yankees, talking to the umpires. They break up the huddle real quick. They say they're a little longer in the first game, but they know everything that need be known at this point about the ground rules. And we're just waiting for the Yankees now to come charging out of the dugout as Hout gets back in the dugout. And let's see who'll lead him out this time. First game, Pepitone was the first man out of the Yankee dugout. And it could be, with the win, they're waiting for Pepitone to get up there and lead them out again. You know, ball players are very superstitious. And I guess any athlete, most superstitious breed there is. And Pepitone leads them out again for the second ball game. And so the Yankees take the field. It'll be Mantle at first, Clark at second, Dick Hauser playing short in his second game, and John Kennedy at third. Bill Robinson in left field, Pepitone in center, and Steve Whitaker in right, and Elston Howard catching both ends of the doubleheader behind the plate. And now he has arrived from down the field, one of his many chores that he must do each day. That's because you didn't read the fine print in his contract. Is Joe Garagiola. Got your breath back, Joe?
Yeah, I got it back all right. It was a real privilege. It really was. Much of it just to see people who worked so hard, like many of the other wonderful charities. Little youngster that was there, the poster boy. Hey, something about a smile from a youngster like that. And Joe Pepitone was the recipient of the award. And Phil, I really believe that he was deeply moved by it.
I'm sure he was, Joe. We had the glasses on, both you and Pepitone and the youngster in the chair and all the people around him, and I guess you can't help but be. And Joe, of course, an easygoing guy. Things like that, I imagine, touch him very deeply.
And he said to me on the field, he said, what am I going to say? I said, Joe, just get up there and say whatever your heart feels. And he made, I thought, a very touching, it was a short one, but he said, I want to thank the people for this award, but I want to share it with the youngsters.
Oh, that's great.
So now we got the second game on hand here, and both ball clubs have really shaken up the lineup. Jimmy Price is behind the plate for Detroit. Mickey Stanley's in center field. The Yankees have Hauser at short. Have Kennedy at third. Elston Howard is doing double duty. Mr. Howard will not be dancing tonight, Mrs. Howard. Rick Peterson is all set to make the first pitch of the ball game, the second game, to Mickey Stanley. Stanley batting at 190, right-handed batter. Here's the first pitch by Fritz Peterson. Swung on and missed, strike one, a sinker. Good crowd on hand. And they saw quite a first game. The Yankees won it 5-0. The one strike pitch to Stanley is strike two. Fastball caught the inside corner. Fritz Peterson. Peterson is 0-4. Swung on and missed, and Stanley is out on strikes on three pitches. Fritz Peterson racks up a strikeout. One out, and it brings up Dick McAuliffe. McAuliffe batting .253. Outfield deep, swung around. McAuliffe waiting. Peterson delivers. A strike. Three straight strikes to Stanley and a strike to McAuliffe. Ball game just getting started. Nobody on, one man out. McAuliffe waits and Peterson delivers. Outside, ball one. The big breaking curveball swept way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sunday afternoon at the ballpark. Many people really enjoying this one. These bleacher fans really soaking up the sun. 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. balls and 1 strike, 1 man out. Peterson delivers a 2-1 pitch. Cap foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dick McCauley. A strong little guy. Peterson gets a sign. And here's the 2-2 pitch to Dick McCauley. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Big breaking curveball, 2 strikeouts for Peterson. The hitter is Don Wirt. Wirt hitting .231. You know, in the other games that Peterson started, he was always behind the hitters. Looks like somebody may have had a long, constructive talk with him.
All he had to do was watch Downing. Boy, Downing was ahead 0-2 on, I bet, 90% of the hitters, Joe.
Yes, he was. Fastball low, ball 1. I tell you, it was interesting, too, Phil, because when I left early, as you well know, and Mantle was out of the game, and that's the one point Mickey said. He said, when he gets ahead of those hitters, he said, he is really a tough pitcher.
He is.
1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball. John Kennedy nicely to his left. He's up over to first in time, and it's 1-2-3 for the Detroit Tigers in the top half of the first inning. And so the score at the end of a half inning, it's Detroit nothing. Yankees coming to bat.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to the circus of value-rated, tested used cars now on display at Armory Garage Central at Colvin and Albany. Ringmaster Art Meade is putting on the biggest used car show of the year. At used car headquarters this week are Bonnevilles, Mustangs, 300s, Barracudas, Impalas, Furies, and the spectacular Crowns and DeVilles. You'll cheer at the lowest prices ever on these mint-condition beauties that are ready to roll. At Armory, the selection is so great, you'll probably find the right car at the right price on your first visit. If by any chance you didn't, stop in again and check the stock. There are new arrivals daily. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Take years to pay. In fact, the first payment won't be due until July. Hop on the bandwagon and drive in to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Clark will lead it off for the Yankees in the bottom of the first against Hank Gary. And before Horace gets up there on Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
This is WOKO 1460 on your dial, Albany, New York.
Hank Gary continuing to loosen up. Looks like they weren't sure of how many warm-up tosses he would take. There's the throw to second base by Jimmy Price. Hank Gary. Gary is 0-0. It's his first start of the year. He pitched against the Yankees in relief up in Detroit. He struck out Pepitone, throw the side 5-5, and minimum first and second. That's the game. Yankees won 6-5 on a Miles base hit. Gary, not an overpowering type pitcher, has a good screwball. Delivers to Clark outside, ball 1. Clark smashes one, backhanded play by Wirt. Long throw in time. He robbed Clark of an extra base hit. And Don Wirt has put on some exhibition at third base today. He took a base hit away from Mantle in the first game, a vicious smash. And now he took 2 quick steps to his right, backhanded the ball, and Horace Clark, who's been hitting himself luck all afternoon, is robbed of a base hit. Here is Dick Hauser. Strike 1. That Clark will be talking to himself, so he's been hitting the ball this afternoon. He's only got himself 1 base hit.
He's robbed of a homer by Horton, lined twice to Horton, and then had to hit a bullet to get a base hit.
Curveball misses, 1 ball, 1 strike. You get days like that, and you think there's somebody in some far-off country with a little voodoo doll who's sticking pins in you. Ball two, 2 balls and 1 strike. You ever get that feeling?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's something, like you say, your favorite thing is so good. Sometimes when you're hitting, it looks like the whole Philharmonic band is out there in every 6 different spots in each position.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 years of that. 2-1 pitch. 3-1. That's the feeling you get. If next time you go listen to a big band, just picture them right in front of you, and all of them are wearing gloves, big mitts. And every ball you hit, pow, right into the glove. Dick Hauser, 3-1 pitch by Gary. Ball 4. And here comes Mantle. Mantle batting at 222, 11 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He snapped a little bit of a slump with that base hit in the first game. No score, bottom half of the first inning, 1 man out. Gary delivers. High, ball 1. One ball, no strike. Mantle waits the pitch. Swung on, popped up, straight back, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. The high sky here is going to be a little bit of a problem, as it's been most of the day with the high pop fouls and infield flies, although nobody missed any in the first game. Lead by Hauser. 1-1 pitch to Mantle. Way inside. Nice play by Jimmy Price. Mantle had to skip the rope to get out of the way. And the crowd, they don't like it at all. This is their guy. And we've got an enthusiastic crowd here. And they saw quite a first game. Big week coming up. Washington and then the White Sox. 2 balls and 1 strike to Gary. Checks the runner Hauser. Delivers to Mantle. Swung on. Smashed to work. Could be 2. Over to McCullough. 1 out. Back to first. Double play. A 1/2 double play ball to John Wirt. Wirt from McCullough to Cash at the double play. Ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the score at the end of a complete inning. Detroit, nothing. New York, nothing.
Atlantic, keep your car on the go.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go with the clean carburetor gasoline, Atlantic Imperial.
For business, for pleasure, in any kind of weather, Atlantic keeps your car on the go.
Imperial keeps the throttle plate of your carburetor free of harmful dirt deposits.
What a confusing, what a pleasure your driving can be.
For quality products and top-notch service, your Atlantic dealer is the man to see.
Let Atlantic Imperial clean your carburetor as you drive.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go, go, go. So keep on the go with Atlantic.
Top half of the second inning. It's a 0-0 ball game. It'll be Willie Hart and Jim Northrup and Jimmy Price for the Detroit Tigers. Willie Horton. Horton hitting .267, 9 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Fritz Peterson, who struck out 2 of the first 3 men, gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Strike this ball, fastball. Here's the 1-strike pitch. A little pop fly, drifting back Kennedy. Hauser's there, and Hauser makes the play. Peterson took something off the fastball, and Horton was way out in front and just looped a little polite pop fly. And here is Jim Northrup. Oh, Horton, he just looks so strong. Of course, he's got to be strong just to bend his own arms. And yet that off-speed pitch, it'll get you. Here's the pitch to Northrop. It's tapped foul, strike one. I guess it's been said many different ways, but Carl Erskine said it as well as anybody when he said pitching is nothing more than keeping the hitter off stride. They asked him how many pitches do you need to stay in the major leagues. If you have control of one and can change speeds, that's enough. Swung on and missed by Northrop. It's strike two. And some fellas come up, they got 5-6 pitches and they can't control any of them. First thing is control. And then start changing speed. Two-strike pitch. Bouncing ball. Mantle backhands it, now drops it. Mickey had it. It's a base hit for Jim Northrop. It looked like Mantle was going to make the play as he backhanded the ball, came up with it, and then as he took that extra step, the ball dropped out, and Northrop has an infield hit. Here is Jimmy Price. Price came up as a pinch hitter in the first game. He jumped on the first pitch and singled to left field. No score, win the top of the second inning. Peterson checks the runner. Delivers to Price. Low, ball one. One ball, no strike. One out. Lead by Northrop. The 1-0 pitch. It popped up behind the plate. Out of play. Onto the screen. One ball, one strike. And the ball's not going to make it down. One ball, one strike, one out. Jimmy Price. Price batting .385. He's been to bat 13 times with 5 base hits. Northrop a lead. Peterson delivers. Swung on a fair ball down the third base line, but the ball boy picks it up, and it's a 2-base hit. That ball's down the line. It just did hit the line, and Bill Kinnaman raised his hands and then indicated fair ball. And now Elston Howard is going down to talk to the third base umpire, Kinnaman. The youngster, in his anxiety to do a good job, made a fine play. And, of course, as soon as he touched it, it was a ground rule double. So it's base runners at second and third. Northrop at third. Price is at second. And the batter is Norm Cash. Norm Cash is the batter with base runners at second and third. That play was so close that it looked like Bill Kinnaman started to call it a foul ball and then motioned fair ball with both hands. And usually they throw both hands in the air to indicate foul ball. Here's the pitch to Cash. It's a strike. And the little ball boy down there. And I hope you don't feel badly about it because it's one of those things. Nothing else, he showed he had good hands. He made a fine play on this ball. One strike to count on Cash. One man out, no score. Here's the pitch. Tap foul, strike two. The on-deck hitter is Ray Euler. George Kell, who does the Detroit telecast, is alongside Phil, visiting. Coach Ernie Harwell, another one of the broadcasters, Ray Lane. 2 strikes to count on Norm Cash. Peterson with base runners at second and third and one man out. Check the runners. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Did not go around, says Jerry Newbecker. Here's ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peterson trying to pitch out of a jam. Northrop got an infield hit and Price a double left. Peterson ready. Cash waits. 1-2 pitch. High. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No score. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Washington leading Baltimore 5-4 in the 6th. Cleveland 2-0 over the Red Sox in the 6th. White Sox 2-0 over Kansas City in the 6th. Minnesota leading California 7-3 in the 5th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cash waiting. Peterson ready. Delivers. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Rich Peterson with a sidearm fastball comes up with a big strikeout. Norm Cash, second out in this inning, 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Peterson. And now here is Ray Euler, and they're looking to put him on because Hank Gary will go down in history for being famous for not hitting. He has had his problem hitting. And they're going to put Euler on right now. There is ball one. Hank Gary will be up there. In the Tiger press book, it says that Gary is one of the game's fastest workers on the mound and one of the weakest at the plate with a career mark of .084. He's had 30 base hits for 368 times at bat. That's about an 8-year slump. But he's up there, and any man that swings the bat is dangerous. And Peterson will have to bear down on a Gary. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. A pop fly. Foul territory. Mantle can't get it. Strike one. Keep swinging that bat. One strike, bases loaded, no score. Top of the 2nd inning. Peterson struck out 3. Bases loaded. Peterson ready. Gary waits the pitch. Foul ball upstairs. And a strike 2. Jim Northrop is on his 3rd. Jimmy Price on his 2nd. Euler's on his 1st. And Gary's had 2 pretty good cuts. The last one, he really wanted that one. He's bearing down up there. Outfield is very shallow. Top of the 2nd, bases loaded, 2 men out, no score. Peterson with a 2-strike count to Gary is ready, and here's the pitch. A fly ball, deep center field. Pepitone going back. It's over his head. 3 runs will score. Here comes Euler around, and Gary's trying for 3rd. Here he goes. He slides in. He's got a triple. Gary has just hit a triple to drive in 3 runs. Fritz Peterson had a 2-strike count on the Gary. Threw a fastball in there, and a Gary hit it over Pepitone's head. Gary, as he got between 2nd and 3rd, looked like he was running out of gas, but he was going forward. He went sliding into 3rd, and he's got himself a 3-0 lead. There's the fellow who had been something like 30 for 368. With a big base hit. Ball one. Mickey Stanley, who struck out his first time up. Strike is called. 1 ball, 1 strike. The unpredictability of baseball. Norm Cash appeared to be the key man. Peterson was able to strike him out. And Hanky Gary, who is not known for his hitting, 30 for 368, looked like it's going to be an easy out with 2 quick strikes, just tripled. Stanley takes outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Boy, whoever said it, it's so true. You can't take anything for granted in baseball. 2 balls and a strike. Peterson delivers. A high fly ball, center field. Pepitone going back, shades his eyes, and makes the catch. Stanley flies to Pepitone and retired to side, but the Tigers scored 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and 1 man left, and the score at the end of an inning and a half. It's the Tigers 3, Yankees nothing.
Say, here's the White Owl girl. Let me ask you something. What do you think about Major League Baseball?
I think they should make every stadium twice as large. Then you can have twice as many people at every game.
But just what's that going to do?
From one fan cave, nothing right out. And if you had twice as many men here, why twice as many men would be enjoying right out. Look around. Rangers, Invincibles, New Yorkers. Why, they're all over. Just think. Twice as many men enjoying that slow age White Owl tobacco. It's mellow to give that mild White Owl taste.
One more thing. Who do you think will be the big winner tonight?
Any man who likes such a White Owl. Because you'll discover something. You get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
I gotta hear that last line again.
You get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
Joe Pepitone will lead it off for the Yankees here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Hanky Gary, who was a little late getting out to the mound, let's get in there to get his breath. Joe Pepitone will lead it off. Gary on the mound. Gets the sign. Here's the first pitch to Joe Pepitone. Curveball, bouncing ball. Norm Cash has it. Races to the bag, wins it easily, and there's 1 away. Joe Pepitone bounces out. Norm Cash unassisted. The batter is Elston Howard. Hanky Gary has given himself a 3-run lead. With a triple with the bases loaded. Curveball low, ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. That triple by Gary has got everybody hopping in the press box, wondering if it's his first career triple. What it has done to his runs batted in output as compared to last year. Howard takes it low, ball 3. But the scoreboard tells the whole story. It's Detroit 3, Yankees nothing. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Howard. It's a strike. Right down the middle. Three-one pitch to Howard. Ball 4. Howard draws the base on balls. That's the second walk given up by Gary. The batter is Steve Whitaker. Whitaker hitting .266 with 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Gary delivers. Strike on the outside corner. Whitaker fouls one straight back, and it's strike two. Gary, a big, tall, 6'4", 210-pounder. Price wants to talk to him now. He's a two-strike count that Gary had on him when Peterson gave him one that he could rip, and he did. Howard will lead it first. Whitaker waits to Gary. Delivers. All the way back past Jimmy Price. Howard digs for second. He'll make it easily. It's a wild pitch charged to Hank Gary. Gary came sidearm to Whitaker, got it way outside. The ball got by Jimmy Price. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 man out. Detroit 3, Yankees nothing. Gary ready. Checks Howard at second. Delivers to Whitaker. Outside. Nice play by Price. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Balls, 2 strikes. Whitaker waiting. To Gary. Checks Elston Howard, the base runner at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-2. Full count on Steve Whitaker. The on-deck hitter is Bill Robinson. Gary ready. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed, and Whitaker is out on strike. That's the first strikeout for Gary. And that brings up Bill Robinson. Robinson had a big inside the park home run in the first game. Howard to lead at second base. Gary delivers. Tap down a third base line. It's going to be trouble for Gary. He's up. The throw is not in time. It's past Norm Cash. And Elston Howard will score. Robinson will have to stop at second as a spectator reached over and touched the ball. So it's a 3-1 ball game. It's a base hit for Bill Robinson. An error on the pitcher of Gary. No run batted in. So Bill Robinson topped one down the third base line. Gary fired it past Norm Cash into right field. Elston Howard scores. So the Yankees pick up a run on a walk, a wild pitch, a chopped ball, and an error. But on that scoreboard, it looks as big as that 3. 3-1. And here is John Kennedy with Robinson at second base, 2 men out. And Gary delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 1. A high curveball, and Kennedy had a good cut. No RBI for Bill Robinson. One strike to count, Kennedy waiting. And Gary checks Robinson at second, delivers. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A couple more plays like that, Joe, and that Gary's going to be out of gas. That running that triple and then running in for that swing and bunt.
It looked like the cork flew out when he was running out that triple when he got between second and third. He kind of plowed into third base and took a little extra time. You're still right. If he has to cover first base on another player, so he may have to call time. Signal for the fair catch. 1-1 pitch. Way outside. 2 balls and a strike. Robinson on second base, 2 men out. Kennedy waits the 2-1 pitch outside, ball 3. Looks like Gary is set on not giving Kennedy a good ball to hit and pitching to Fritz Peterson. One pitch now. Swung on a fly ball, deep right field. Kaline going back. He has room. Makes the catch on a warning track. Northup, rather than Kaline not in the ball game, just so used to seeing him out there. But Northup made the play on the ball hit by Kennedy. And that retires the side. The Yankees score 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error, 1 man left on base, and the score at the end of 2 complete innings. Detroit 3, Yankees 1.
If you're over 21, it's time you became a smart car buyer and joined the ranks of the thousands of satisfied customers who shop Armory Garage, central at Colvin in Albany. Here are the 3 basic rules for the smart car buyer. First, select the model you want, and then compare quality. Armory Garage boasts the largest selection of quality-tested late-model used cars in the area. 2, compare service. Armory's expert mechanics are qualified to service all the cars in the Armory lot. 3, compare price. Armory's tremendous volume assures you more for your car buying dollar. Be a wise car buyer. Drive into Armory Garage and talk over your used car needs with sales manager Art Neat. Let him introduce you to Armory's easy terms. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Your credit is wealth at Armory. Follow the wise car buyer to Armory Garage, central at Colvin in Albany.
Dick McAuliffe, John Wirt, and Willie Horton will be the 3 hitters for Detroit in the top of the 3rd. 2-1 ball game. Tigers are out in front. Right now on Yankee Baseball, let's pause for station identification.
1460 radio, this is WOKO, Albany, New York.
Dick McAuliffe to lead it off. McAuliffe was out on strikes his first time up. Tigers lead 3-1. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Peterson delivered. Outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. McAuliffe takes outside, ball 2. He shortened up as if to bunt. Breaking ball. Missed the plate. What that did accomplish, though, was to bring John Kennedy, the third baseman, in about 3 steps. 2-0 pitch now by Peterson to McAuliffe. Is high, ball 3. 3-0. Peterson ready once again. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Dick McAuliffe draws the base on balls. That's the second walk given up by Peterson. The other one was an intentional pass to Ray Euler. Here's Don Wood. He bounced out. And John Kennedy to Mickey Mantle. That was in the first inning. McAuliffe will lead first. Wirt can handle the bat. To be alive for anything. Swung on a smash past John Kennedy into left field. Rounding second is McAuliffe, trying for third. Going into second is Wirt. The throw, they're going to get him. They got him. Robinson to Clark gets Wirt, trying to get to second base. But moving on over to third base is Dick McAuliffe. Robinson came up throwing. He fired right into second base. Made a fine throw. So it's a single for Don Wirt. Robinson to Clark gets Wirt. And Willie Horton is the batter with McAuliffe on his third. 1 man out. Horton pops to the shortstop. Dick Hauser's first time up. Infield has moved in. It's a 3-1 score. Tigers are out in front. Peterson delivers. Swung on a foul ball out of play upstairs on the right side. Strike one. Back down. Mad scramble is on. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Trail in this one 3-1. We're in the top of the third. Peterson delivers to Horton. Swung on. A smash in the left center field. A base hit. McCullough scores easily. It's a 4-1 ball game. As Willie Horton hits one past the outstretched glove of shortstop Dick Hauser. And for Horton, that's his 23rd RBI of the year. Here is Jim Northrop. Northrop playing right field. Al Kaline sitting this one out. Northrop, who usually plays center field, is in right and Stanley's in center. Horton will lead at first. Northrop swings and misses. Strike one. Tigers lead 4-1. Big blast in the ball game. A triple by Hank Gary with the bases loaded. Horton leads. Northrop swings and misses. Strike two. Breaking ball. Two strikes to count on Jim Northrop. One man out, one run in. 4-1's the score. Tigers lead. Willie Horton, the base runner at first. Two strike pitch now to Jim Northrop is outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be Washington here tomorrow night. 8 o'clock game. Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Wednesday, 5 o'clock, twine nighter. Thursday, 8 o'clock. Then the White Sox come to town. Horton leads. 1-2 pitches. Swung on and dribbled down the third base line of the stage fair, but it's going foul. Had that stayed fair, Northrop would have had a base hit. Kennedy had no chance to get him. Northrop heads back. Up there now with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peterson checks the runner Horton. Delivers to Northrop. A foul ball down the line in left field. Into the stands, out of play. Northrop looked like he was fooled on that play. He seemed to lay his bat on the ball and try to keep from being called out. One ball, 2 strikes. Northrop waits, Horton the lead. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-2. Willie Horton, a big guy, but good speed, is on at first. 1 man out, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 4-1's the score. Tigers lead. Horton a lead. Good lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on a bouncing ball in the right field, a base hit. Willie Horton will hold at second. Now he goes as Whitaker couldn't come up with a ground ball, and Horton goes sliding in. It could be an error on Whitaker because Horton had stopped at second base. It is an error on Whitaker in right field. Northup singles to right. Ralph Houck has come out of the Yankee dugout. He may make a pitching change here. We're in the top of the third, a 4-1 ball game, one man out. And if there are two frustrating pitches as far as Houck is concerned, and probably for Peterson, it's the one to a Gary. After two quick strikes with the bases loaded, Gary hit a triple. And then after making Northup look bad, Northup singles the right field to set up the first and third situation. Whitaker's error, of course, contributing. And that's the situation we find ourselves in the top half of the third. Detroit 4, New York 1. Horton's on at third base. Northup is on at first base. And we're going to have a pitching change. And while we wait for the pitching change, we'll take a look at the scoreboard with Phil Rizzuto.
Okay, Joe. Baltimore scored 4 runs in the second inning, Washington 5 in the third, and that's the way it stands, 5-4 into 6. Ortega lines in the second, Baldwin in the seventh for Washington. Barber started, Bunker in the third. Cleveland leading the Red Sox 3-0 at the end of 8 innings. Stang started, Wyatt in the eighth, Hargan for Cleveland. First game of a doubleheader, it's the White Sox 2, the A's nothing at the end of 8. Hunter Stardom, Odin in the eighth, and Tommy John all the way for the White Sox. It's California 7 and Minnesota 7 at the end of 6.5. Stanford, Kelso in the fifth, Rojas in the seventh. Merritt started for Minnesota, Worthington in the seventh. Armin Killebrew Holman in the second, his 12th of the year, and Versailles in the fourth with 2 on. In the National League, it's the Giants 7 and the Mets nothing, end of 5.5. Dennehy against Gibbon. Fuentes Holman in the second with 2 on. That's the first of a doubleheader. Houston 1, Philadelphia nothing, end of 6.5. Wise started, Jackson in the fifth, Wilson going to Houston. Pittsburgh nothing, the Dodgers nothing, end of an inning and a half. Veal against Drysdale. And Cincinnati remains red hot. They beat Atlanta 5-4. Maloney all the way the winner. Johnson the loser, relieved by Kelly in the sixth. Hank Aaron hit his 15th of the year in the seventh with nobody on. The Cardinals beat the Cubs 4-3. Hughes the winner. Nye started, Hands in the sixth. Lou Brock had his 13th of the year in the first with nobody on. So those are the scores, and as Joe told you here, it's 4-1 in favor of Detroit, and a new pitcher on the mound. But Baltimore has just come up with a run in the bottom of the seventh, so they've tied Washington 5-5. Okay, Joe.
Okay, Phil, it'll be Hal Renniff, the new relief pitcher for the Yankees, replacing Fritz Peterson. Renniff inherits the situation as Willie Horton on at third base. Northup is on at first. One man out. In the top of the third inning, Detroit leading 4-1. This inning started when McCauley drew a base on balls, and then Word hit one to left field. McCauley went to third, and as Word tried to stretch it into a double, a fine throw by Bill Robinson to Horace Clark. Got Word. And when the infield drawn in, one man out and a man on at third, Horton single past Hauser. Northup is just single to right. Horton had stopped at second, but when Whitaker couldn't pick up the ground ball cleanly, Horton moved on over to third. So it was an error choice to Steve Whitaker. And the 3 Detroit runs previous to this one scored by McAuliffe came in the second inning when Northup, an infield hit, Jimmy Price double to left, and second and third, and Peterson struck out Cash. They walked Euler intentionally, and then Hank Gary tripled. Right, a Gary triple. Renniff has completed his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Jimmy Price. Price doubled and scored in the second inning. Base runners at first and third, one man out. Renniff ready. Delivered. Outside, ball 1. One ball and no strikes. One man out. Renniff delivers. Swung on, a bouncing ball. Hauser in the hole, flips to Clark in time for the force play. On Northup coming down from first, no return throw to first base, so it's a 5-1 ball game as Jimmy Price hits it to a force play. Credit Price with a run batted in. Hauser to Clark. Gets Northrop. Horton scores. And here's Norm Cash, who was out on strikes the first time up. 2 men out. Top of the third. Detroit 5, Yankees 1. Cash takes it low, ball 1. Strike is called on the inside corner. Cash thought the ball was too far inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men out. 1 man on. Jimmy Price on at first. 2 runs in, 5-1 Detroit. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Norm Cash. Low, ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Rennick checks the runner. Price delivers. Swung on a high pop ride down the line in left field. Going to be trouble for Robinson. He can't get it. Extra bases. Rounding third base is Jimmy Price. He's going to score. Cash is going to try for 3. Here's the throw to Hauser. To Kennedy, not in time. A full hitter. Robinson was way over in left center. Couldn't get it. Tapped foul by Euler, and it's strike 2. Detroit leading. Al Rennick in relief of Fritz Peterson. Rennick ready. The 2-strike pitch to Euler. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Euler strikes out. Retires the side. Tiger scores 3 runs in the top half of the third. And so the score at the end of 2.5 innings is Detroit 6, New York 1.
Should a gentleman offer more than an evening to a lady, more than candlelight and smoke off, more than just a night? Should a gentleman offer a tip for pillow to a lady? And what if he does? Well, baby, it's alright, yeah. Should a gentleman offer a Tipperillo to a lady? Now that you have Tipperillo Regular and new Tipperillo M with menthol, the question's even tougher. Should a gentleman offer a Tipperillo to a lady? And what if he does? Well, baby, it's alright, yeah. Tipperillo tonight.
Bottom half of the third inning, Detroit leading 6-1. Hank Gary taking his warm-up tosses. Al Rennick will lead it off for the Yankees in the bottom of the third. Rennick will lead it off. Gary, the big left-hander. Delivers. It's a strike. One strike to count. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 33,454 paid here. And they've had quite an afternoon of baseball. 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 is called. Rennick is sold out on strikes. That's 2 strikeouts for Gary. Renniff says something to Newdecker. And you can bet that it's something like, well, you call it a strike on me when I'm batting, give it to me when I'm pitching. Here is Horace Clark. Clark was robbed of a base hit on a fine play by Don Wood. Gary to Clark. Low, ball one. Swung on a fly ball, center field. Mickey Stanley going back, makes the catch. Clark flies to Stanley and straight away center field. So there are two away. Near is Dick Hauser. Hauser walks his first time up. Yankees trailing 6-1. Strike is called to Dick Hauser, a good fastball. Yankees trying to get base runners. Going up there taking that first pitch, and the Gary's landed right in. One strike pitch. Low, ball one. One ball, one strike. Toughest kind of baseball to play is that catch-up baseball. That's the job the Yankees have staring them right in the face. Here's a foul ball coming straight back. One ball, two strikes. Detroit 6, Yankees 1. Bottom of the third. Gary gets his sign. The 1-2 pitch to Hauser. Outside, 2-2. Gary ready, 2-2 pitch. Swung on a fly ball left field. Willie Horton moves over. He's there. Hauser flies to Willie Horton in left field. It's 3 up and 3 down for the Yankees. So the score at the end of 3 complete innings. It's Detroit 6, New York 1.
Well, another look at the scoreboard. It's still Washington 5 and Baltimore 5. Now playing the bottom of the 8th inning. Baldwin against Bunker. Cleveland shut out Boston 3-0. Hargan pitched a 5-hitter. Stang the loser. The White Sox shut out Kansas City in the first game of a doubleheader. Tommy John, the winning pitcher, and Hunter, the loser. It's California 7 and Minnesota 7 playing the bottom of the 8th. Rojas against Worthington. Killebrew and Versailles home at Versailles with 2 on. The Giants lead the Mets 7-0 at the end of 6.5. Dennehy against Gibbons. Fuentes had a 3-run homer. Houston won. The Phillies nothing end of 7. Jackson against Wilson. Dodgers 1, Pirates nothing end of 2. Deal against Drysdale. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-4. Maloney the winner, Johnson the loser. Hank Aaron home in the 7th, his 15th of the year. And the Cardinals beat the Cubs 4-3. Hughes the winner, Hands the loser. Lou Brock had his 13th homer of the year in the first inning. So that's the scores, and here comes Gary again. Back to Joe.
Here's Hanky Gary. And Gary hit that tremendous triple. Gave himself a cushion in that first inning when he hit a triple with the bases loaded. Renniff delivers. Low, a strike. 1 strike to count. Bouncing ball foul. 2 strikes to count on Hanky Gary. Top half of the 4th inning. Tigers 6 and the Yankees 1. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Al Renniff in relief of Fritz Peterson. 2-strike count on the Gary. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gary is out on strikes. It's the second strikeout for Al Renniff. Brings up Mickey Stanley. Stanley struck out and flied out. Fastball low, ball 1. Top half of the fourth inning, Detroit leading 6-1. Fastball misses, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Big afternoon of baseball here. Washington will be coming in here tomorrow night. Night games Monday, Tuesday, 29 on Wednesday, and a night game on Thursday. And then the White Sox, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, a big doubleheader Sunday. There's a strike. Sunday is bat day. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out, nobody on. Top of the fourth, Mickey Stanley the hitter. Bouncing ball, Clark to his left, the big hop. He's got it over to Mantle in time. Stanley is out, Clark to Mantle. 2 away, and it brings up Dick McCullough. McCullough struck out in the first inning, walked and scored in the third. McCullough scored on the base hit by Willie Horton. Rennick gets his sign. Here's the first pitch. Low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch now by Rennick is a strike call. McCullough shortened up as if to bunt. Drew the bat back, but Newdecker said he's going around. One ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 men out. 6-1's the score, top of the fourth inning. Detroit leading. Swung on and missed, strike 2, a straight change. Rennick took something off the fastball, and McCullough was way out in front. Yankees won the first game 5-0 behind Al Downing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McCullough waiting. Rennick delivers. Outside, 2-2. A 2-2 pitch by Rennick. Swung on a line drive, base hit, right center field. Whitaker cuts the ball up into second base, and McCullough has a long single. McCullough is on at first with 2 men out, and here's Don Wood. Wood bounced out, third to first in the first inning, and single to left. He was out trying to stretch it into a double. Fine play, Robinson to Clark. Wood batting .231. Lead by McCullough. Curveball is his strike. Work. Takes a look at Cuccinello. McCullough, one of the players that can steal a base for you. Tigers leading 6-1. Here's a line drive, base hit, right field. McCullough is rounding second. He's digging for third. Whitaker up. The throw is not in time. Downward singles the right field, sending McCullough to third base. 2 men out. It brings up Willie Horton. Horton singled to drive in a run his last time up. He popped his shortstop in the second inning. Tigers lead 6-1. 2 men out. Top of the fourth. Al Rennick gets his sign. Checks the runners. Delivers to Horton. Swung on a high fly ball left field. Bill Robinson has room waiting for it and makes the catch. Willie Horton flies to Bill Robinson in left field. Retires his side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. Towards the end of 3.5 innings, it's Detroit 6, New York 1.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to the circus of value-rated tested used cars now on display at Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Ringmaster Art Meade is putting on the biggest used car show of the year. At used car headquarters this week are Bonnevilles, Mustangs, 300s, Barracudas, Impalas, Furies, and the spectacular Crowns and DeVilles. You'll cheer at the lowest prices ever on these mint-condition beauties that are ready to roll. At Armory, the selection is so great, you'll probably find the right car at the right price on your first visit. If by any chance you didn't, stop in again and check the stock. There are new arrivals daily. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plan. Take years to pay. In fact, the first payment won't be due until July. Hop on the bandwagon and drive in to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Mickey Mantle, Joe Pepitone, Elston Howard for the Yankees in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Before Mantle comes up on Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
Your dial at 1460 for WOKO, Albany, New York.
Gary to Mantle. Swung on and drilled foul. Foul ball down the line in left field. Mantle jumped on the first fastball, got around on it just a little bit too soon. 1 strike. Gary ready once again. Mantle waiting to pitch. Strike 2, fastball. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th, Detroit leading 6-1. The 2-strike pitch. High, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. Mantle hit to a double play his first time up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a high foul ball, drifting out of play along the right field line. One ball, 2 strikes. Mantle waves the big bat. Gary looks in for the sign. Has it. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, drilled deep to left field. Horton going way back. Nobody will get this one. 1 hop up against the auxiliary scoreboard, and it's a 2-base hit. Mantle is still digging. He'll have to stop and go back to second. Second, but the ball was handled by a spectator as it took 1 bounce up against the scoreboard in left center field, a little bit to the right of the scoreboard as you look out from home plate. And so it's a ground rule double for Mantle. So Mantle is on his second base, nobody out. And Joe Pepitone is the hitter. This crowd is alive. They want action. 33,454 here. And Gary gets his sign. Pepitone waits. Here's the pitch. Curveball is popped up behind home plate on the screen, out of play. 1 strike to count. That ball hit between the auxiliary scoreboard in left field and the 457 marker with 1 hop. As long as double as you'll ever want to see. Puts Mantle at second base. Nobody out. Listen to the crowd. 1 strike pitch. Swung on a high fly ball. Right field. Northup coming in. Going out is McAuliffe. McAuliffe battles and makes the play. Dick McAuliffe hauls in the high pop fly hit by Pepitone. So there's one away, and the batter is Elston Howard. Howard walked, came on around to score. And Bill Robinson tapping down the third baseline, and McGarry threw it past Norm Cash. Mantle will lead off second base. Howard waits, McGarry delivers. High, ball one. The 1-0 pitch now. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Gary turned over his screwball. Howard had a good cut and missed. One ball, one strike, one out. 6-1. Detroit leading, bottom half of the fourth inning. Hanky Gary ready. Delivers 1-1 to Howard. Swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McGarry moves the ball around, changes speed. He's a good battler. Elston Howard, right down the end of the bat. Waves the big bat as Mantle gets his lead off second. McGarry delivers 1-2. High, 2-2. Gary put a lot extra on that ball and actually fell off the mound as he completed his follow-through. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. Balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Mantle at second base. Detroit leading 6-1. Gary ready, delivers to Howard. Swung on, a bouncing ball, worked to his left, has it. Over to first in time. Mantle has to hold at second. Elston Howard bounces out, works to Cash. There are 2 away, and here is Steve Whitaker, who was out on strike the first time up. McCullough comes in to say something to Gary. The on deck hitter is Bill Robinson. Hanky Gary looks in to Jimmy Price to get a sign. Checks Mantle at second base, delivers. Strike is called a fastball. Caught the outside corner right at the belt. 1 strike to count on Steve Whitaker. Gary ready once again. Delivers. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mantle is getting a good lead at second base. Neither Euler nor McCullough jockeying back and forth. Tigers are leading by 5. 6-1 to score. Whitaker waits the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a line drive. Base hit. Right center field. Mantle rounds third. He'll come in to score. Whitaker makes a big turn and heads back to first base. 6-2. Tigers out in front as Mantle scores the second run on the base hit by Steve Whitaker. And for Whitaker, that's his 19th run batted into the year. Brings up Bill Robinson, who had a base hit his first time up. He topped one down the third base line, and when Gary threw it past Norm Cash, Elston Howard scored. Low, ball 1. Whitaker leads at first base. Gary delivers to Robinson. Low, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes, 2 outs, 1 run in, 6-2 to score. Detroit out in front. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Fastball is high. Ball 3. 3-0. Now the bullpen starts to move in left field. The Tiger bullpen. Strike is called. 3 balls and a strike on Bill Robinson. 2 men out. Cash comes in to say something to Gary. Gary gets his sign. Whitaker, a lead off first. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Three balls, 2 strikes on Bill Robinson. 2 men out. Whitaker at first. He'll be running. Struck him out. Robinson out on strikes. That retires his side. And the score, at the end of 4 complete innings, it's the Detroit Tigers 6, the Yankees 2.
Almost everyone has a favorite thing. Things like, do unto others. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And vive la différence. Viva the little difference that makes the difference. Viva Atlantic Imperial. The clean carburetor gasoline. Some gasolines leave dirt deposits in the throttle plate area of the carburetor where they can cause stalling, rough idling, and wasted gasoline. But Imperial dissolves those deposits and washes them away. This can be the little difference that makes the difference in your car's performance. If you don't like the difference after using 100 gallons of Imperial, we'll pay you $4. Get a receipt for each purchase, then send the receipt to Atlantic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19102. Vive la différence! You'll get the little difference that makes the difference from Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
Jim Northrup, Jimmy Price, and Norm Cash will be the 3 hitters for the Tigers in the top half of the 5th inning. A 62 ball game. Washington and Baltimore all tied up. The end of 9, 5 apiece. Cleveland leading Boston. Cleveland won that game 3-0. White Sox won their first game 2-0 over the Athletics. Line drive, left center field. Robinson is there, makes the play on Northrup, and is 1 away. California in the Twins inside, 7-7 at the end of 8. Giants 7, Mets nothing, 8th inning. Houston 1, Phillies nothing, 8th inning. Dodgers 1, Pittsburgh nothing, 3rd inning. St. Louis beat the Cubs 4-3, and Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-4. Jimmy Price there, 1 man out, nobody on. 6-2 to score, Tigers lead. We're in the 5th inning. Al Renner. Dillon. Curve ball high. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch now. High pop fly. Drifting back is Dick Hauser. And makes the play. Price pops to Hauser in shallow left field. Just a few feet behind the infield. So there are 2 away, and here is Norm Cash. Cash hit a triple in the 3rd inning and struck out in the 2nd. Cash drove in a run with the triple. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Detroit 6, Yankees 2. Top of the 5th. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Cash. Swung on a bouncing ball. Mantle at first, the big hop. Steps on the bag. It's an easy inning for the Yankees as the Tigers go down in order, 1-2-3. And so the score at the end of 4.5 innings, it's Detroit 6, New York 2.
If
you're over 21, it's time you became a smart car buyer and joined the ranks of the thousands of satisfied customers who shop Armory Garage, central at Colvin and Albany. Here are the 3 basic rules for the smart car buyer. First, select the model you want, and then compare quality. Armory Garage boasts the largest selection of quality-tested late-model used cars in the area. 2, compare service. Armory's expert mechanics are qualified to service all the cars in the Armory lot. 3, compare price. Armory's tremendous volume assures you more for your car buying dollar. Be a wise car buyer. Drive into Armory Garage and talk over your used car needs with sales manager Art Neat. Let him introduce you to Armory's easy terms. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Your credit is wealth at Armory. Follow the wise car buyer to Armory Garage, central at Colvin in Albany.
John Kennedy, Al Renniff, and Horace Clark, the 3 hitters for the Yankees in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Hanky Gary gets the sign delivered. Bouncing ball foul. Lauren Babe comes up with it, strike 1. Detroit leading 6-2. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Kennedy. Strike 2. He straightened up as if the bunt took it. He caught the corner for strike 2. Hanky Gary struck out 3. He's walked 2. Ruben Amaro has come out the on-deck circle. He'll be the pinch hitter for Al Renniff. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Yankees trail 6-2. Swung on a long fly ball down the line in right field. It is hit the foul pole. It hit the foul pole. Gary is walking around the mound talking to himself. John Kennedy had stopped between first and home, and it clipped the foul pole, just barely clipped it. And Kennedy has a home run. It's a 6-3 ball game. Hank Gary is just talking to himself as he walks around the mound. John Kennedy hit a home run, his first home run of the year, and it clipped the foul pole. Man, that's one of those that just barely goes clean when it hits. Amaro bunts 1 foul, strike 1. Kennedy really brought this crowd to its feet. A high routine fly ball. He thought it was going foul. He had stopped between home and first. Amaro fouls on back and strike 2. And all of a sudden you could see that ball just flip the foul pole. Kara Moss and the first base umpire, Larry Knapp, indicated home run. Gary delivers to Amaro, the pinch hitter. Strike 3. Amaro out on strike. That's the 4th strikeout for Hanky Gary. Amaro was pinch hitting for Renniff. Here's Horace Clark. Clark is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard all afternoon. He only has 1 base hit. That was in the first game. 1 man out, 1 run in. Bottom of the 5th, 6-3. Tigers lead. Hanky Gary delivers to Horace Clark. High ball 1. Big blow for the Tigers with the Gary triple in the 2nd inning. Chris Peterson got 2 quick strikes on him, but then a Gary triple. Here's a bouncing ball foul down to third base and downward. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 run in. There's a looping base hit in the left field. Horace Clark reached out and tapped a slow curveball right over the head of Don Wood. He really served that one. The Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians have made a deal. Gary Bell of the Cleveland Indians has gone to the Boston Red Sox for Tony Horton and Don Demeter. trades continue. Mail Smith is out talking to a Gary. 1 run is in. 1 man is out. A base runner on at first. Batter is Dick Hauser. Mail Smith is going to bring in help from the bullpen. Gary will be leaving here. A 6-3 score. Dave Wickersham is coming out of the Detroit bullpen. Oh, both starting pitchers have now left. Fritz Peterson started for the Yankees. Gary will be leaving for Dave Wickersham. Then while Gary leaves, waits for Wickersham to come in, we'll take a look at the scoreboard.
Okay, Joe, they're playing in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Orioles and the Senators, and it's all tied up at 5 apiece. A big game for the Orioles. They're trying to come on and get started here. The Indians beat the Red Sox 3-0. The winner was Hargan, loser was Stang. In the first game of a pair, the White Sox beat Kansas City 2-0. The winner John, the loser Hunter. Second game not yet started, Nash against the Zarts. They're in the 10th inning at Minnesota. It's a 7-7 tie. Killebrew and Versalles had home runs in that one for the Twins. On the West Coast, after 8 innings of play, it's the Giants 7, the Mets nothing. That's the first game. Twinnies had one for the Giants in that contest. Houston won, Phillies nothing after 8. L.A. over the Pirates 1-0 after 3.5. Cincinnati beat the Braves 5-4. The winner Maloney, the loser Johnson. Aaron had his 15th home run of the year for the Braves. That leads the National League. And is right now tied with Frank Robinson for most in the majors. Cardinals over the Cubs 4-3. Winner was Hugh. The loser was Hands. Lou Brock had his 13th for the Cards in that contest. And in the top of the 9th inning, Houston was leading the Phillies 1-0, but the Phillies have come up with 6 runs to take the lead 6-1 with Houston batting in the bottom of the 9th. That score just in. And right here at Yankee Stadium, it's the Tigers 6 and the Yankees 3. 1 away. Horace Clark is at first base. At the plate, ready to hit, is Dick Hauser. Dave Wickersham has come on and is taking his warm-up tosses. Yankees won the first one 5-0. Trying to scramble back for the nightcap. Well, as Wickersham is about to conclude his warm-up tosses here, we'll turn it back to Joe Garagiola.
Okay, Gary. Wickersham, good thinker, changes speeds very effectively. Fellow was a starter. He's been in the bullpen the last couple years. So Dick Hauser is ready to bat against Dave Wickersham with Horace Clark on first base. 1 run in, a home run by John Kennedy that just took the foul pole in right field. Wickersham gets the sign and delivers to Hauser. It's a strike. Fastball. Clark is a few feet off the bag at first. Strike 2. Dave Wickersham with a good sinking fastball is quickly out in front of Dick Hauser with the count of strike 2. Wickersham ready. Delivers. Swung on, line drive to McAuliffe. One hand over to first, double play. McAuliffe, a leaping catch of a line drive hit by Dick Hauser. One-handed grab. Fired quickly to Norm Cash. They were able to double up. Horace Clark, who was only a few feet off the bag, and that retires the side. 1 run, 2 hits. One of the 2 hits, a home run by Kennedy. No errors, nobody left on base. And score at the end of 5 complete innings. It's the Detroit Tigers 6, the New York Yankees 3.
When was the last time something nice happened to you? Some nice little thing, something unexpected, an extra thank you, a pat on the back from the boss. We all know it's the little things that have special meaning. Well, when you drive into your Atlantic Red Ball dealer station, your dealer will take care of the big things, like filling your car with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline. He'll also take care of the little things, too, the little extra nice things. He'll clean your windshield, weather permitting, and offer to check your oil. If he forgets to do either, your gasoline purchase is free. This offer may vary in some states, but never the service. Now, when was the last time something nice happened to you? Make it happen today at your Atlantic Red Ball dealer.
Steve Hamilton is the new pitcher for the Yankees as we move into the top half of the sixth inning. Tigers lead 6-3. Yankees won the first game 5-0. It'll be Ray Oyler to lead it off for the Tigers in the top of the sixth inning. And all set to bring you the play-by-play now. Here is Jerry Coleman.
Okay, Joe, Steve Hamilton, the long, tall left-hander for the Yankees coming on. He'll be pitching to Oyler, Wickersham, and the leadoff batter, Mickey Stanley. It's a 6-3 ball game. At one time, the Tigers led 6-1. The Yankees have bounced back with a run on the fourth and one on the fifth. Top of the sixth inning, Ray Oyler coming on, had an intentional pass and scored a run on the second, and then struck out in the third. Steve Hamilton, big left-hander ready, he delivers, and there's a ball foul down the third base side. Strike one. Ray Oyler. Came into this ball game batting at .220. 8 doubles, 1 triple, no homers, 9 RBIs, and takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tigers trying to get this one. They lost the first one. There's a high fly to right field. Steve Whitaker drifting under it, and he's got it. So there's 1 up and 1 down. And coming on to hit for himself is Dave Wickersham. Hanky Geary went the first 4 1/3 innings, so he will not be able to take credit for this win if the Tigers win it. You've got to go at least 5 if they're the starting pitcher. A 2-hopper to third base. Kennedy has it. Flips easily over to Mickey. Oh, we had 2 down here. That play going 5-3. 2 up and 2 down. And now giving Wickersham a little time to get back to the Tiger bench is Mickey Stanley. Taking his time going to the plate. Stanley struck out, fly to center, and bounced to second. Steve Hamilton ready. The big left-hander to Stanley. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. One of the things with Mickey Stanley is to try to get him to move that batting average up. He's a fine defensive ball player, but has not been able to hit too much. Came into this game hitting at 190. Hamilton's next pitch is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 33,454 in ideal baseball weather here at Yankee Stadium for the big doubleheader of the Yanks against the Tigers. Hamilton once again, the 1-1 pitch to Stanley, and it's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5 games in 4 nights, commencing tomorrow night, Tuesday evening, a Fly-Nighter on Wednesday, and a Thursday night game against the Washington Senators. Right now, the Senators and the Orioles are in the 11th inning. They're tied at 5 apiece. Hamilton to Stanley, fouled back in the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. California and Minnesota are in the 10th inning, and they're tied at 7 apiece. Steve Hamilton checking Elston Howard, who's catching the doubleheader today. The pitch to Stanley way outside. 3-2 the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Elston Howard, the great Yankee catcher, one thing you can rest assured of, he'll sleep well tonight. Here's the payoff pitch, way outside, and Stanley draws a walk. So a 2-out walk here to Mickey Stanley. First given up by Hamilton. And that'll bring up Dick McAuliffe, who struck out, walked, and scored a run in the third, and then had a single to right in the fourth. Dick McAuliffe started out as a second baseman. They said he couldn't play it, so they moved him to short, and they said he couldn't play that, and he did. Now he's back at second base doing a fine job for the Tigers. Hamilton ready. Set. Here's the pitch to McAuliffe. Almost hit him. Ball one. Many times the ball player comes into the big leagues with a certain tag on him. In other words, well, he can hit pretty good, but he can't field. But what they overlook frequently is the determination of the ball player himself to improve himself. McAuliffe just went out and did the job, both short and second. He could always hit well. It became a fine defensive ball player as well. 2 balls, no strikes, 2-0 the count. 2 outs, the runner at first base. The Yankees trailing 6-3. Top of the 6th inning. Kennedy at third, Hauser at short, Clark at second, Mantle at first, the inner defense. And down McAuliffe goes. Hamilton on a 2-0 pitch, lost it. And down went Dick McAuliffe. Downward in the on-deck circle. So it's 3 balls, no strikes. Stanley at first. Hamilton comes set. Here's the pitch to McAuliffe. And it's off the plate, ball 4. So Hamilton walks Stanley, and now McAuliffe on 4th straight. And while we're waiting for Wirt to get up there, this is New York Yankee Baseball. Let's pause for station identification.
1460 radio, WOKO in Albany, New York.
Don Wirt is 2 for 3. Facing Hamilton, the first ball is inside. It's ball 1. Wirt bounced to third, singled to left, tried to stretch it to 2, and was thrown out on a nice play by Bill Robinson, and then singled to right field. Runners at first and second. 2 out. Wirt the hitter. Hamilton now stepping off the rubber. Forrest Park is playing way back at second base on the edge of the outfield grass. Hamilton delivers. Ground ball. Kennedy can't get it. Down the line. Stanley coming in to score. Over to third base is Dick McAuliffe, and holding up with his third base hit of the day at first base is Don Wirt. That's an RBI for Don Wirt, and all of this after 2 are out. 2 walks to Stanley and McAuliffe, and a single by Wirt, and the Tigers now lead 7-3. Here's Willie Horton, popped to short, single to center, and scored a run. Drove in a run, and then flied to left. All right, Hamilton ready. Runners moving off. Horton fouls this one back, strike 1. That's the 10th hit for the Detroit Ball Club. Yankees won the opener, 5-0 behind Al Downing. Hamilton ready. The pitch to Horton is fouled off to the right. And a nice catch by young Surratt right here. Got himself a souvenir that he can take home and proudly show to all his friends. No balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton getting the sign from Elston Howard. McAuliffe at third, Wirt at first. Here's the pitch, and a 1-hopper to Hauser at short. Underhands it to Clark. The side is retired as Don Wirt is forced to second base. For the Tigers, 1 run on 1 base hit, 2 men left, and the score after 5.5. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3.
If you've ever bought a pair of shoes one size too small, well, you know what a big difference just a little difference can make. Or if you've ever used a gasoline that allows deposits to form around the carburetor throttle plate and then change to Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline. Throttle plate deposits can cause stalling, rough idling, and wasted gasoline. But a few tankfuls of Atlantic Imperial dissolves these deposits and washes them harmlessly away. Helps prevent their return, too, if you keep on using it. Now, we're so sure a clean carburetor will increase your driving enjoyment that Atlantic makes this offer. Use just 100 gallons of Imperial gasoline. Save your purchase receipt. Then, if you don't like the difference, send your receipts to Atlantic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19101. And Atlantic will send you $4. Make the test yourself. Get the difference that makes the difference. Use Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
Mickey Mantle is coming up to face Dave Wickersham here in the bottom of the sixth. Yankees trailing by 4, and the first pitch is in there, strike one. A 7-3 ball game. Mantle has bounced into a double play and doubled to left center field. The ball had bounced into the bleachers in left center. Automatic ground rule double. One strike pitch, a high chop ground ball to the second baseman McAuliffe. Up with it, slips in time, and Mantle is out of there. Nice play by Dick McAuliffe, retiring Mickey Mantle. McAuliffe had to come in hard, one-handed the ball, and flipped all in one motion to Norm Cass. Well, there's one away here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and here's Joe Pepitone, who bounced to first and popped to second. Joe Pepitone came into the ball game batting at .275. Wickersham delivers a fastball right on the inside corner. Good pitch, strike one. Wickersham, once again, the one-strike delivery is a curve inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count. If you missed it, Gary Bell of the Cleveland Indians has been traded to the Boston Red Sox for Tony Horton and Don Demeter. There's another high chopper. This one is taken by Cash. Underhands it to Wickersham in time on a close play. That one going 3-1, and there are 2 up and 2 down. Wickersham had to fight for the base as he was watching Cash and the ball at the same time and feeling out for the base, but made it in time. All right, here's Ellie Howard, who walked and bounced to third. Wickersham ready, and a pitch to Howard on the button. 1 hop to the shortstop Boiler. A nice play over to Cash. And there it is, 3 up and 3 down on the score after 6. It's the Tigers 7 and the Yankees 3, and now here's Joe with the scoreboard.
They're in the 12th inning over at Baltimore. They're all tied up at 5 apiece. Fisher against Humphreys, both in relief. Ortega and Barber were the starters. No home runs in that game. Cleveland defeated the Boston Red Sox 3-0. Hargan all the way for the win. Stang was the loser. No home runs in that game. Chicago 2 and Kansas City nothing. Tommy John all the way a 5-hitter. He was the winner. Hunter was the loser. And no home runs in that game. Kansas City 1. White Sox batting. Bottom of the first, Nash against Bizarre. We're in the bottom of the 10th inning over at Minnesota, and the California Angels and Minnesota Twins are tied at 7 apiece. Killebrew home run in the second, nobody on his 12th. Versailles in the fourth with 2 on. Bottom of the 10th is Rojas against Klein, all tied up. Giants beat the Mets 7-0, a 4-hitter by Gibbon. Dennehy was the loser. Fuentes got a home run in the second, 2 on. Second game, it's Estrada from New York, McCormick for San Francisco. Phillies lead Houston 6-1. The bottom of the 9th, Hall against Sambera. Phillies 6 runs in the top of the 9th. Pittsburgh 1, Los Angeles 1. Bottom of the 5th, Clemente. A home run is 11th. That came in the 5th inning. Veal against Drysdale. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-4. Winner was Maloney. Loser was Johnson. Henry Aaron had a home run. In the 7th, nobody on his 15th.
Okay, here's Steve Hamlin's first pitch to Jim Northrup, outside ball one. Joe continues.
In the Cardinal Cub game, Cardinals won it 4-3. Hughes the winner, and Hands was the loser, and Brockett is 13th in the first with nobody on.
Hamilton again to Northrup. This one outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Here at Yankee Stadium in the second game of the doubleheader, it's the Tigers 7 and the Yankees 3. Top of the 7th inning. Hamilton once again delivers. Northrup almost falls down swinging. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fritz Peterson started for the Yankees, went 2 in the third innings, gave up 6 hits and 6 runs. Reynolds came on, pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs. Now Hamilton has come on. He's given up a hit and 1 run. Northrup swings at a sweeping curveball way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hanky Gary started for the Tigers, went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. And Wickersham came on in the 5th inning. Strike 3 swinging. Jim Northrup goes down. And that's the first strikeout recorded by Hamilton. Now here's Jim Price, the catcher, who doubled, bounced to short, popped to short, drove in a run, and scored twice. The curveball is outside. It's 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The 1-0 delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steve Hamilton pitching to the rookie catcher, Jim Price. Here's the next one, the 1-1 delivery. Curve is in there. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield and outfield, shaded slightly to the left side for Price, the right-hand hitter. Crouching over the plate. The pitch now by Hamilton. A 1-hopper to the shortstop, Hauser. Throws to Mickey, and in time for the putout. That ball almost off the base. So it's 2 up and 2 down here on the top of the 7th inning, and here's Norm Cash, who struck out, tripled down the left field side, and then bounced to first. Cash drove in a run. That was in the 3rd inning. On the board, the announcement that the Indians traded Gary Bell to the Red Sox for Tony Horton and Don Demeter. Gary Bell has spent his entire Major League career with the Cleveland Indians. This is his 10th year. A ground ball off the foot of Hamilton. Clark is up with it and over to Mantle in time. That ball hit Hamilton in what appeared to be his right foot and then caromed over to Horace Clark for the putout. So it's 3 up and 3 down here in the 7th inning, and the score after 6.5. Detroit 7, Yankees 3.
Will the White Owl girl please report to the press box?
How do you know I was here?
Easy. You're always where the men are. There are lots of men out here today, right?
Right. You got me in the middle of my addy.
Addy?
Just before I was counting the men smoking White Owl cigars.
And how'd you come out?
I lost count. There are so many. I spot some Rangers, a bunch of New Yorkers, hundreds of Invincibles.
You need a White Owl scoreboard.
Even without one, I can tell it's a White Owl crowd. Because men love that White Owl tobacco. It's slow aged, small to build up the mild taste. And no matter which White Owl shape a man picks, he's sure of a smooth smoke right down to the last pitch.
That's a pretty good pitch you're making yourself.
It's true. Every time I see a man light up a White Owl, I know he's going to enjoy himself. I know he's going to discover why they say you get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
Steve Whitaker is coming on for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 7th inning as they're still trailing by 4 runs. Tigers leading 7-3. Detroit 10 base hits. The Yankees have 5. And Minnesota, as Joe told you, has edged California 8-7. The Angels having a rugged time of it, currently in last place in the American League. Dave Wickersham, the first pitch to Steve Whitaker is low, and it's ball 1. Fastball outside now to Whitaker. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Steve Whitaker struck out in the 2nd. Single to right in the 4th. Drove in a run. The 2-0 delivery. Over the third baseman, Ted, a base hit. Steve Whitaker is going to try for 2. And rolling around in left field as he tried to pick up the ball is Ray Euler. And Whitaker has just hustled himself into a double. Joe, I've got to say about this young Whitaker, he's improving with every game, and he's trying things and doing things.
And that's the main thing. He's getting the job done. Jerry, he came up with the reputation of being strictly a pull hitter. He's bunted for base hits. He's hit to the opposite field. He's a real good-looking ball player. Good prospect.
Steve Whitaker came into the second ball game with a .266 batting average. He's 2 for 3. So he'll move up over the .270 mark. Steve with a double on at second base. That's his 6th of the year. Now Jim Price, the rookie catcher, out talking to Dave Wickersham. Yankees trailing 7-3, bottom of the 7th. This is the 4th and final game of the 4-game set. The Yankees lost the first one Friday night 9-5. Won yesterday's game 3-1. Won the opener of today's doubleheader 5-0. And right now they're trailing 7-3 in their second game of the doubleheader. Whitaker, now at second base, batting at .276. Bill Robinson coming on. Infield single and struck out. Change up inside, ball 1. Dave Wickersham to throw a screwball. Overhand sinker. Several variations of a curveball, sidearm overhand. Moves the ball around. Student of the game. Curveball outside. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. To Bill Robinson. On deck is John Kennedy. Nobody out. Whitaker at second. Hit high down the left field side, and that is serving foul. Out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Robinson, tall, rangy, right-hand hitter. Waiting for Wickersham to get the sign from Price. He's got it. Whitaker moving off second. The pitch by Wickersham. Curve is outside. It's 3-1. Detroit with 3 runs in the second, 3 in the third, 1 on the 6th. The Yankees with solo runs in the second, 4th, and 5th. We're in the bottom of the 7th now. Yanks trailing by 4. Wickersham ready again. Here's the pitch to Robinson. It's outside, ball 4. Well, the Yankees now have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the last of the 7th. And here comes John Kennedy, who flied to right and homered to right. On deck is Tommy Tresh. He'll be batting for Steve Hamilton. Base hit to left field. Whitaker coming in to score, and it's a 7-4 ball game. Holding up at second base is Bill Robinson. The Yankees continue to battle back here. They're trailing by 3. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And coming on to bat for Hamilton is Tommy Tresh. Tresh played in the first ball game and was 1 for 4, single to right field in the 4th inning. Coming on as a pinch hitter here for Steve Hamilton. Bottom of the 7th. 1 run in. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. And the Yankees trying to come back. And now here comes Mayo Smith out of the Detroit dugout. And of course, in a case like this, with Tresh a switch hitter, it doesn't make any difference who's out there. We'll just turn around if they bring in a left-hander. Dave Wickersham has given up a double to Whitaker, a walk to Robinson, and a single to Kennedy. So the Yankees and the Senators will be at it for 5 games in 4 nights, starting tomorrow night, Tuesday night, a twilight doubleheader on Wednesday, and a Thursday night game. And then another big weekend set with the Chicago White Sox. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Ladies' Day, and that day and the Sunday doubleheader a week from today. So while we're waiting for a new pitcher to come in from the bullpen, let's move over to Joe once again and find out what's going on in the Major League scene.
Okay, Jerry, the Baltimore Orioles and Washington Senators are moving into the bottom half of the 13th, all tied up at 5 apiece. Washington scored 5 runs in the third, and Baltimore scored 4 in the bottom of the second. They tied it up with 1 in the 7th, and they're in the bottom of the 13th now. Fisher against Humphreys. Cleveland beat Boston 3-0. The winner was Hargan all the way, a 5-hitter. Stang was the loser. White Sox with a 5-hit shutout by Tommy John defeated Kansas City 2-0 in the first game. It's 1-0. Kansas City out in front, bottom of the second. Nash against Bizarre. We're in the bottom of the 10th over at Minnesota, all tied up. California 7 and Minnesota 7. Rojas against Klein, both in the lead. Killebrew hit one in the second with nobody on his 12th. And Versailles hit one in the 4th with 2 men on. And the Minnesota Twins have just scored a run to defeat the California Angels 8-7. The San Francisco Giants defeated the Mets in the first game 7-0. A 4-hitter by Gibbon. Dennehy was the loser. Fuentes had a home run in the second with 2 on. Second game, it's Estrada for the Mets, and McCormick is pitching for the Giants. Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Houston Astros by the score of 6-1. 6 runs in the top of the 9th. And the Phillies defeat the Astros. Pittsburgh won and the Dodgers won. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Clemente home on the 5th. Nobody on. It was his 11th deal against Drysdale. And Cincinnati defeated Atlanta 5-4. The winner was Maloney. The loser was Johnson. Aaron hit a home run in the 7th. Nobody on his 15th of the year, which leads the National League. And the Cardinals defeated the Cubs 4-3. And Lou Brock had the only home run in the first with nobody on. It was his 13th of the year. Hughes was the winner and Hands was the loser. So that's a look at the scoreboard, Jerry.
Okay, Joe, Fred Gladding has come on, and Mayo Smith has reached back for his best. Gladding has relieved 13 times for 1 victory and 9 saves. And in 20 1/3 innings, he's given up only 2 walks and no runs. Has not given up a run this year. The Tigers have won 6 one-run ball games, and Gladding has figured in all of them, winning 1 and saving 5. So Fred Gladding, the ace of the bullpen for the Detroit Tigers, is coming on now. Try to check things. Yankees threatening. It's a 7-4 ball game. 1 runner's in, nobody out, and the Yankees have runners at first and second. Tommy Tresh coming on for Steve Hamilton. At second base, Bill Robinson. John Kennedy, who has just driven in his second run, is on at first. Fresh, batting left-handed, is up there, and Gladding's first pitch is outside, ball 1. Tigers, who've been having their problems, have lost 4 of their last 5 ball games. Here's the 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Tommy Tresh at the plate. 2-0 the count. Robinson at second. Kennedy at first. 7-4 ball game. Gladding, the right-hander, set. Delivers. The curveball is in there. Strike 1. Fred Gladding, known as the Bear, and he's built like a bear. Wears glasses, roly-poly. The 2-1 delivery. Curveball hit to the second baseman, McAuliffe. Flips over to Cash. The runners move up, and we have 1 away. So Tommy Tresh hit one right on the fifth to McAuliffe at second base. Robinson goes to third, Kennedy to second, and here's Forrest Park. He'll be batting left-handed against the right-handed Fred Gladding. Clark 1 for 3. the ball game picking up in tempo here as the Yankees are battling back. Glading gets the sign from Jim Price. The pitch to Clark. Curveball, low and inside, ball one. Well, a brisk breeze is starting to pick up here at Yankee Stadium. Cooling things off just a little. Glading to Clark. He takes high. 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes. Glading has been up and down between Detroit and the minor leagues since 1961 before finally sticking in 65. Curveball is high. 3-0, 3 balls, no strikes. Last year, Glading had a perfect record. 5 wins, no losses. The year before that, he was 6-2. So the bullish right-hander falling behind Horace Clark. Here's the 3-0 delivery. Strike call. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Detroit leading 7-4. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The runners moving off second and third. The 3-1 delivery is low, and the bases are loaded. Well, Glading walked Horace Clark to load him up. 1 away, and here's Dick Hauser. Bases loaded. Glading sets. Here's the pitch, and Hauser takes a strike. Curveball. And Fred Glading came to a set position with the bases loaded. He did not take his windup. And he's going to do it again. Glading ready once again. Set. Here's the pitch to Hauser. Base hit up the middle. Here comes Robinson. Kennedy in to score. And it's a 7-6 ball game. Pandemonium has broken loose here at Yankee Stadium as the Yankees are battling back. Mantle has come to the plate with runners at first and second, 1 away. 3 runs are in. It's a 7-6 ball game, bottom of the 7th. Ball 1. The roar is deafening here at the stadium. Dick Hauser putting the Yankees squarely back in this ball game with a ground single up the middle, scoring 2. Glading sets the pitch to Mantle. 1 on a miss, strike 1. Mantle at the plate. Mickey on the afternoon is 1 for 3. Had a double to left in the 4th. Glading ready once again. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hank Aguirre started for the Tigers. Wickersham relieved him, and now Glading here in the 7th. All the runs in this inning have been charged to Wickersham. Mantle standing there. Glading delivers. Swings and misses. Strike 2. Mickey going after a curveball. The Tigers need this one. The Yankees want it too. The fever is rising as Glading sets the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and it's strike 3. So Mantle goes down swinging. We have 2 down, and that'll bring up Joe Pepitone. there's a meeting on the mound between Jimmy Price, Dick McAuliffe, and Fred Gladding. And while we're waiting for that to conclude, we remind you this is New York Yankee baseball. We pause briefly for station identification.
This is WOKO 1460 on your dial, Albany, New York.
All set to go now. Pepitone standing at the plate. The first pitch. Bouncing ball. McAuliffe backhands it. The plate of first. Not in time. Trying to score. It's Clark. And he's out at the plate. Forrest Clark coming all the way in. Trying to score. Is picked off on a fine throw from Cash to Jimmy Price. Pepitone beat out the base hit. And Clark just kept running, trying to tie it up, and was nailed at the plate. The play going 4-3-2. Pepitone gets himself a base hit, an infield single, but Clark is out trying to score. The play going 4-3-2. The side is retired, and for the Yankees, 3 runs on 4 base hits, 2 men left. And the score after 7 innings of play, it's the Tigers 7 and the Yankees 6.
The 2 biggest purchases most people make are a house and a car. Both are big investments, and both need some taking care of. One way to take care of your car is to fill up with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline. A clean carburetor can be the little difference that makes the difference in how your car runs. Atlantic Imperial washes away dirt deposits from your carburetor's throttle plate area as you drive to help prevent stalling, rough idling, and gasoline waste. If you don't like the difference after using 100 gallons of Imperial, we'll pay you $4. Just get a receipt for each purchase, then send the receipt to Atlantic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19102. 2 big purchases, a house and a car. Take good care of both. For the little difference that makes the difference, take care of your car with Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
We're going into the top of the 8th inning, and Bill Momboquette has come on for Steve Hamilton. Momboquette, the 4th Yankee pitcher. What an inning that last one was. Whitaker started with a double to the opposite field. Robinson walked. Kennedy drilled a single to left, scoring Whitaker. And that finished off Dave Wickersham and brought on Fred Gladding. Fresh bounced to second base with the runners moving up to second and third. Robinson going to third, Kennedy to second. Forrest Clark walked to load him up, and then Hauser singled up the middle to score 2 more to make it 7-6. Mantle, with runners at first and second, struck out, and then Joe Pepitone hit a ground ball just to the right of second base. It was a spectacular stop by Dick McAuliffe, who threw to first. Pepitone beat the play, and coming all the way around from second base was Forrest Clark trying to score, and a heads-up Norm Cash was on the ball, fired to Price, and cut Clark down at the plate. So as we go into the 8th inning, it'll be Ray Euler facing Bill Momboquette, the right-hander recently acquired by the Yankees, in the first pitch of the curveball high, ball 1. Euler with an intentional pass, struck out, slide to right. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Momboquette, the right-hander, the 1-0 delivery. Outside 2-0. Well, I'll tell you, this looks like one of those real cliffhangers. The Yankees have been trailing all the way, struggling to get back in the game. They've narrowed the gap to 1 run. It's a 7-6 ball game. Detroit leading. Strike in there to Ray Euler, taking all the way. Kennedy at third, Hauser at short, Clark at second, Mantle at first. Now the pitch by Momboquette is high. It's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ray Euler checking Tony Cuccinella now. 3 balls, 1 strike. Momboquette ready. Here it is. It's in there. Strike 2. Euler taking all the way, trying to duck under the fastball on the letters. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes, and $33,454 paid, being treated to some real baseball here this afternoon. Here's the payoff pitch to Euler. High pop coming back. That's out of play. Yankees won the first game 5-0. And this is a big ball game for Detroit because the White Sox beat Kansas City 2-0 in their first game, and the Sox and the Tigers are virtually tied for first place in the American League right now. Second game, Kansas City leads 1-0 after 1. All right, Mamboquette, the payoff pitch to Euler again. Ground ball, Kennedy far to his left. Great stop. Throw to first. In time. What a play by John Kennedy. John Kennedy virtually cutting in front of Dick Hauser for a spectacular stop. Recovery and throw to Mantle. Retires the leadoff batter, Ray Euler. So there's one away, and now here's Fred Gladding coming on. Boy, that was some play by Kennedy. Here's Mamboquette to Fred Gladding, who bats from the left side, and it's ball one. There's a high pop, left center field. Robinson calling for it all the way. He's under it, and he's got it. 2 down. We're in the top of the 8th, a one-run ball game. Detroit leading 7-6. Detroit at one time led 6-1. And the Yankees narrowed the gap to 6-2, 6-3. Tigers went out ahead 7-3, and the Yankees bouncing back with 3 more. And as it stands right now, it's 7-6 Detroit. We're waiting for Mickey Stanley to come to the plate. And a reminder again, a week from today will be Bat Day here at the stadium. All youngsters 14 years of age and under, boys and girls, a free Little League bat, and a big day of baseball, a doubleheader with the White Sox. A week from today, June 11th. Mamboquette delivers a fastball outside to Stanley, and it's ball one. Bill Mamboquette, fourth Yankee pitcher. Tigers have used 3. Aguirre started, relieved by Wickersham, and then Gladding. The 1-0 pitch to Stanley misses low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Here's Mamboquette again, the 2-0 delivery. Hit deep to left field. If it's fair, it should be it. And it's a foul ball, upper deck. That ball was really hit. Upper deck, about 15 feet foul down the left field line. Mickey Stanley belies the power that he showed on that ball. You wouldn't think he could hit a ball that far. In the upper deck, about 15 foul down the left field line. Really got under one. All right, here's the 2-1 pitch by Mamboquette. Hit the right field this time. Slicing foul out of play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 to count. Detroit 7, Yankees 6. 2 out, nobody on. 2-2 to count on Stanley. Top of the 8th. Mamboquette again, the right-hander, delivers. And this one dribbled toward the Tiger dugout and into the dugout. So it's a 2-2 count as it holds here. Mickey Stanley at the plate. On deck, Dick McAuliffe. Kennedy playing very deep at third base. Hauser, medium deep at short. They're playing Stanley about straight away. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just outside, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Second game of the doubleheader. A tight one. A thrilling one. Mamboquette, the payoff pitch to Stanley. Curveball popped up to the left side. Howard digging toward the Detroit dugout. Can't get to it. So the count remains 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Stanley. Robinson shading toward the line in left. Whitaker doing the same in right. And Pepitone in nearly dead center field. Outfield spread out, as is the infield. Kennedy Kennedy guarding the line at third. Mantle doing the same at first. All right, now Monboquette getting the sign. Here's the 3-2 pitch once again. Hit the center field. Pepitone way back there near the running track and has it. That ball is hit way into deep center field. So it's 3 up and 3 down. And after 7.5 innings of play, it's the Tigers 7 runs on 7 hits. The Yankees 6 runs on 9.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to the circus of value-rated, tested used cars now on display at Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Ringmaster Art Meade is putting on the biggest used car show of the year. At used car headquarters this week are Bonnevilles, Mustangs, 300s, Barracudas, Impalas, Furies, and the spectacular Crowns and DeVilles. You'll cheer at the lowest prices ever on these mint-condition beauties that are ready to roll. At Armory, the selection is so great, you'll probably find the right car at the right price on your first visit. If by any chance you didn't, stop in again and check the stock. There are new arrivals daily. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Take years to pay. In fact, the first payment won't be due until July. Hop on the bandwagon and drive in to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Bill Freehan has gone in to catch Fred Gladding here as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning with the Yankees trailing 7-6. Elston Howard is up there, and the first pitch is fouled off, strike 1. So Bill Freehan, who caught the first ball game, has gone in behind the plate for Jim Price. The 1-strike pitch to Howard, swung on a miss, and it's strike 2. Obviously, manager Mayo Smith is sending Freehan in there to try to settle things down, getting his experienced catcher behind the plate. All right, the 2-strike delivery now to Howard. And it's swung on a miss, strike 3. So Howard goes down swinging, leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. That's the second strikeout for Gladding. Yankees trailing by a run. It's a 7-6 ball game. And here's Steve Whitaker, struck out. Single to right, double to left, scored a run and drove in a run. Gladding ready. The pitch to Whitaker is a curveball high and outside, ball 1. Fred Gladding, with men on, even though the bases were loaded, was not taking his windup, and now, with nobody on, is going into his windup. 1 away now, and the 1-0 pitch to Whitaker is outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Gladding, 6 feet, 230-pounder, into the windup. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Whitaker. Swings and misses, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Whitaker stepping out of the box, going over, getting a little dirt on his hand. The 2-1 pitch by Gladding, and the curveball is low and in the dirt. 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fred Earl Gladding, nicknamed the Bear, born in Flat Rock, Michigan. Gets the sign from Freehan. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Whitaker. And it's inside, ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Gladding, and that'll bring up Bill Robinson. Infield hit, struck out, walked. Robinson 1 for 2. Well, the Yankees going right down to the wire here, trying to stir something up. Whitaker at first base. 1 away. The batter, Bill Robinson. Ground ball to the shortstop. Euler flips to second for one. Throw to first is not in time. And Robinson went down that line in a hurry. So Whitaker is forced to second. The play going 6-4. Robinson safe. On the fielder's choice. 2 down, and here's Kennedy. Kennedy 2 for 3. Slide to right, homer to right, single to left. Drove in a pair of runs and scored twice. Glading, incidentally, has walked 2 men since coming on in the 7th inning. And that's as many as he'd walked all year before today. The first pitch to Kennedy is in there, strike one. Coming into the on-deck circle, and he'll be batting for Mambo Kit, is Jake Gibbs. Glading getting the sign from Free, and Robinson moving off first. The pitch to Kennedy is fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first. Detroit 7, the Yankees 6, last of the 8th inning. Glading, who has not allowed an earned run all year, on the mound for the Tigers. Now Glading sets. Here's the pitch to Kennedy, and there goes Robinson. Throw to second. They've got him trapped. McAuliffe chasing it back. Now to Cash. Cash running after him. And they don't get him. Now it's the catcher, Freehan, who has it. And the throw goes to Euler, and there may be a fight. There's a melee on the field as Robinson went into second. Both fields, everybody pouring onto the field. Both teams are out there. Euler went after Robinson as he tried to knock the ball away from him. And everybody from both teams are on the field right now. And here comes the Detroit bullpen. There was a literal melee out there as Robinson and Euler started to go at it. And there's a lot of pushing and shoving around as the umpires are out there. Things seem to be pretty much under control. Every player on both teams is at second base. Of course, immediately when Robinson got picked off, the play developed this way. McAuliffe chased him all the way back nearly to first and through to Cash. Cash chased him down to second base, and he got by Cash, went back toward first to throw, then went to Freehan, who flipped to Euler, and as Robinson went in, Euler was about 5 feet in front of second and tried to jam him with his right shoulder to knock the ball out, and Euler went after him, and everything broke loose. Players from both teams spilling onto the field, and now both teams are going to their respective dugouts as the side is retired here. And for the Yankees, here in the bottom of the 8th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left, and the score after 8 full innings of play is Detroit 7 and the Yankees 6.
You can't tell the difference between salt and sugar just by looking at them, but did you ever absent-mindedly put salt in your coffee instead of sugar? You can't usually tell the difference between gasolines just by looking at them either, but some gasolines allow deposits to build up in the throttle plate area of your carburetor where they can cause stalling, rough idling, and wasted gasoline. Atlantic Imperial is different. It not only helps prevent this problem, it actually dissolves throttle plate deposits and washes them harmlessly away. That's why we call it the clean carburetor gasoline. It's the gasoline with the difference that makes the difference. See for yourself. Use 100 gallons of Atlantic Imperial. Save your receipt. And if you don't like the difference, send those receipts to Atlantic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19101. And Atlantic will send you $4. Get the difference that makes the difference. Use Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
Dick McAuliffe is coming to the plate here in the top of the 9th inning. He's walked twice, singled once, and struck out. Yankees are trailing 7-6. It'll be McAuliffe, Wirt, and Horton. Mambo catch. The curveball is inside. It's ball one. As far as we know, no one has been ejected from the ball game. Robinson is in left, Pepitone in center, Whitaker in right. Mambo catch, delivers, fastball on the inside corner. Strike one, 1 ball and 1 strike. We never saw 2 benches empty as quickly as the Yankees and the Tiger benches did. Drilled hard down the right field side by Dick McAuliffe, foul, and it's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, that had all the earmarks of a real melee. Should have been a Donnybrook. But as they say, wiser heads prevailed. Usually somebody gets spiked on a deal like that. Nobody gets punched if somebody steps on somebody. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High top, behind the plate. Howard with a shot at it. And can't get to it as it comes off the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees won the first game 5-0. They trail 7-6 in the ninth of this one. Now the 1-2 pitch and a 1-hopper to Clark at second. He has it. Backing up, flips over to Mickey, who has to make the stretch for the putout. So that play going 4-3. Now here's Don Wirt coming on. Strike 1 is the first pitch to Don Wirt by Bill Mambo Cut. Mambo Cut ready again. Here's the 1-strike delivery. A high pop off to the right, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 away, nobody on. Sign on the board, something to look forward to. Ball day, July 15th. 3 official league balls to each child 14 years of age and under. And the fastball is outside now to Don Wirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch to Wirt. High chopper to third. Kennedy coming in. Nice play. One-hander flips over to Mantle in time. A fine play by John Kennedy on a very difficult hop. And we have 2 outs. Now here's Willie Horton. 1 for 4. Singled in the 3rd inning to drive in a run and scored a run. The pitch by Mambo Cat is drilled hard off to the right upper deck. Strike 1. That ball shot off the bat of Willie Horton just off to the right into the upper deck. 1 strike to count. Mambo Cat taking his time. 2 down, a 1-strike count on Willie Horton. Mambo Cat ready again. Here's the pitch. Curve is outside. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Mambo Cat again. The 1-1 pitch to Horton. Way outside. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Shadows creeping over the vast expanse of Yankee Stadium. The only outfielders in the sunlight now are Pepitone in center, Whitaker in right. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Horton. And this is outside. It's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike. Willie Horton at the plate. Bill Monboquette on the mound. 2 down. Monboquette again, the 3-1 delivery, and it's hit to right center field, not too deep. Whitaker under it, he's got it, and the side is retired. So it's 3 up and 3 down here in the top of the 9th, and the score after 8.5. Tigers 7, Yankees 6.
Judy? Mm-hmm. We use the same cookbook, but there's something special about your chicken. It must be the extra spices I add, Betty. Oh, they sure make a big difference. You know, I think I'll try those spices next time. Well, don't use too many. It doesn't take much. I usually add a dash.
That's so often the way. Just one little touch really counts in the overall result. It's the little difference that makes the difference. A clean carburetor can make that difference in your car's performance. Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline, cleans your carburetor's throttle plate area while you drive to help prevent stalling, rough idling, and gasoline waste. If you don't like the difference after using 100 gallons of Imperial, we'll pay you $4. Get a receipt for each purchase, then send the receipts to Atlantic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19102. Add some spice to your driving pleasure. Get the little difference that makes the difference from Atlantic Imperial, the clean carburetor gasoline.
The Yankees with their backs to the wall here in the last of the 9th inning. It'll be Kennedy. Jay Gibbs will be coming off for Monboquette and Horace Clark. Kennedy was at the plate when Bill Robinson took off at second base and was finally put out, and the fight erupted. Oh, Kennedy back there again. The first pitch of the curveball is high, and it's ball 1. Knocks Kennedy down, and the fans react here. Now time has been called. Apparently someone has thrown something out around shortstop where Ray Euler is holding forth. The fight erupted between Robinson and Euler. Robinson trying to knock the ball out of Euler's glove, and Euler taking a personal affront to it and attacking Robinson. And then it just took off from there. And that's part of the game. An attempted bunt, and he holds inside, and wait a minute. It looked like he had bunted at the ball, but apparently not. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Now, wait a minute. It's 1-1. Now the plate umpire gives us the sign. Jerry Neudecker saying 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 to John Kennedy, leading off the bottom of the 9th. Here's Gladding, and the fastball is right down the middle, strike 2. Gladding getting the sign from Bill Freehan. Into the windup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2 the count. Gladding checking Bill Freehan. Ready again. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Kennedy. Swung on and missed, strike 3. For Gladding, that's strikeout number 3. And that'll bring up Jake Gibbs, batting for Bill Monboquette. Jake Gibbs, batting for Bill Monboquette. And while we wait for Gibbs to get up there, we remind you this is New York Yankee Baseball. We pause for station identification.
1460 radio, this is WOKO, Albany, New York. Gibbs batting from the left side.
Fred Gladding is ready. The pitch to Jake is fouled back on the screen to our left here, and it's strike one. Detroit 7, Yankees 6, 1 out, last of the ninth inning. Second game of the doubleheader. Al Downing and the Yankees won the first one, 5-0. Gladding ready again. Here's the one-strike pitch. Hits to right field. It's a tie ball game. Jake Gibbs has tied it up here with a pinch hit home run. It's all tied 7 apiece with 1 out. Last of the ninth, and here's Horace Clark. Clark 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Curveball is inside, ball 1. Gladding ready again. The 1-0 delivery. A ground ball up the middle. McAuliffe behind second. Throws to first in time. And they're 2 down. Play going 4-3. Well, that'll bring up Dick Hauser. Jake Gibbs unloaded a home run to tie up the ball game at 7 apiece. And that was the first earned run of the year. Fred Gladding in 22 2/3 innings pitched. For Gibbs, it was his first home run of the year. Dick Hauser takes strike 1. Oh, the Yankees at one time trailed by 5 have now tied it up here in the ninth. Third ball, a one-hopper to the second baseman. Dick McAuliffe over to Cash, and we're going into extra innings. That play going 4-3. For the Yankees, 1 run on 1 hit. No Tiger errors, nobody left. And after 9 full innings of play, it's the Tigers 7 and the Yankees 7.
Some 33,454 fans here this afternoon. They've been treated to quite an afternoon of baseball. The Yankees won the first game 5-0 behind the fine pitching of Al Downing. Joe Pepitone had a home run in that ball game with a man on the first inning. Phil Robinson had a home run inside the park in the 7th inning. And here in this second game, it looked like it was going to be a real laugher for the Detroit Tigers as they jumped out first to a 3-0 and lead on a triple with the bases loaded by a Gary. Then it was 3-1 and 6-1, 6-2, 7-3. And then the Yankees made it 7-6 with Clark being thrown out. Now Jake Gibbs, a pinch hit home run, all tied up at the end of 9. A lot of baseball coming up this month of June. Washington's here for 5 games in 4 days. The White Sox, a big weekend series. And the Tigers will be back here on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Plan to be with us.
So we've got another Yankee pitcher. It's Dooley Womack as we go into the 10th inning. It's all tied up at 7 apiece. And Jake Gibbs, his first home run of the year, has done the job. With 1 out of the 9th inning, Gibbs unloaded as he was batting for Monbochek. And now Dooley Womack coming on will try to hold the Tigers in. The Yankees won the first one 5-0. The announcement that Dooley Womack is coming on to pitch for the Yankees. Womack has an earned run average of 1.75. He's won 3 and lost 2. And Dooley has 4 saves. So Womack has been the big man in the late innings in Ralph House bullpen. Here's Jim Northrup coming on, who's 2 for 4. left-hand hitter facing the right-handed Dooley Womack. The first pitch by Womack fouled off, and it's strike one. We're going into the 10th inning, all tied up at 7 apiece. The Tigers 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The Yankees 7 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. So it's even across the board. Here's Womack to Northrup. Outside, 1-1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Womack getting a sign from Elston Howard. The 1-1 pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sign on the board stating that was the first run off Fred Gladding in 14 games, 22 and a third innings pitch. That's 1967, of course. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Home runs by Kennedy and Gibbs helping the Yankees here in the second ball game. A near riot. A lot of things going. There's a 3-hopper to Horace Clark at second. Up with it over to Mantle. And there's 1 away. That'll bring up Bill Freehan for the first time. He came on in the 8th inning as a defensive measure for the rookie Jim Price, and now he's coming to the plate for the first time. Freehan caught the first ball game. In that game, he was 2 for 4. Womack ready as he checks Freehan. Into the windup. Here's the pitch to the big catcher. Drilled hard down the left field side, foul. Kennedy playing at third base for Charlie Smith. Hauser at shortstop for Ruben Amaro. Clark at second, Mantle at first. In the outfield, Robinson in left, Pepitone in center, Whitaker in right. Behind the plate, Elston Howard has been in there all day. There's a ball hit into shallow center field. Pepitone coming on. He's got it. So we have 2 up and 2 down here in the 10th inning. Now that'll bring up the ever-dangerous Norm Cash, the first baseman, who tripled in the 3rd inning to drive in a run. Cash 1 for 4. As Joe told you, 33,454 on hand here for this big doubleheader, and more to come this week. Womack to Cash, and the fastball is inside, ball 1. Senators and the Orioles into the 16th inning. It's all tied up at 5 apiece. There's a curveball inside. 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Dooley Womack ready again. The 2-0 delivery is hit foul down the left field side, slicing into the stands, out of play. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Trying to keep the ball away from Cash's power. Cash, who has the home run threat. Back in 1961, he hit 41, 39. Last year at 32. Straight away center field. Pepitone moving back is under it, and he's got it. So it's 3 up and 3 down, and the score after 9.5. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 7.
Find out why. You get a lot more from a White House than just smoke.
All set to go here in the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be Mantle, Pepitone, and Howard facing Fred Gladding. So the pitchers of record right now, Dooley Womack for the Yankees, Gladding for the Tigers. It's all tied up at 7 apiece. Mantle, 1 for 4 in the second ball game. The pitch by Gladding is a fastball, a high, ball 1. Gladding ready again. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Third ball is outside. 2-0, 2 balls, no strikes. Both Don Wirt at third and Norm Cash at first hugging those lines to prevent the extra base hits if they get down there. Here's the 2-0 delivery. High, it's 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Gladding pitching to Mickey Mantle, leading off the bottom of the 10th inning. Red Gladding, ready again. The right-hander delivers, and this one is inside, ball 4, and Mantle draws a walk. And now here comes manager Mayo Smith out of the Detroit dugout. Going in to run for Mantle at first base is Mike Hegan. Smith, Gladding, Freehan, and the shortstop Euler all gathered around the mound. The announcement has just been made that Mike Hegan has come on to run for Mickey Mantle, and it looks like we're going to get a left-hander, possibly Johnny Padres, out of the Detroit bullpen. We'll have to wait and see, though. What a ball game this has been. The Tigers came up with 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning when Hank Aguirre tripled over the head of Joe Pepitone to drive in 3. Then they bounced back with 3 more in the 3rd inning on a walk and 3 base hits and an error. And it was a 6-1 ball game until the Yankees came back with 1 on the 4th, 1 on the 5th to make it 6-3. Detroit got their final run, the 7th run, in the 6th inning and led 7-3. The Yankees bounced back with 3 in the 7th and finally 1 in the bottom of the 9th. And that 1 in the bottom of the 9th was a pinch hit home run by Jake Gibbs to tie up the ball game. And that's the way it stands at 7 apiece. Coming on right now, it's Johnny Padres, the veteran left-hander. He'll be pitching to Pepitone and Howard with Mike Hegan on at first base, running for Mickey Mantle. Johnny Padres, quite a pitcher when you go back to that 1955 World Series. Took that 7th and final ball game. The Sandy Amherst catch game. Padres shutting out the Yankees 2-0 to do it. And in Brooklyn, its first World Championship ever. It's coming on now 12 years later in relief for the Detroit Tigers. And while we're waiting, Joe, is there anything new on the scoreboard?
Yes, Jerry, the Baltimore-Washington game is in the bottom half of the 16th inning. They're all tied up at 5 apiece. It's Miller against Humphrey. Cleveland beat Boston 3-0. The White Sox won the first game 2-0. They're tied in the second game. Kansas City won. The White Sox won again to 3. Minnesota 8-7 over the California Angels. Reichert, Rogers, Werhaus had home runs for California. Killaby and Versailles had home runs for the Minnesota Twins. Mets lost the first game to the Giants 7-0. Fuentes had a home run. Gibbon was the winner. Dennehy was the loser. Second game with the Giants 2, Mets nothing. Bottom of the 3rd, a start against McCormick. And the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Houston Astros 6-1 with 6 runs in the 9th inning. Pirates 4, Dodgers 1, end of 8. Clemente and Clendenin home run. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-4, and the Cardinals beat the Cubs 4-3.
Okay, Joe Pepitone is stepping in to face Johnny Padres, a veteran left-hander, for the Detroit Tigers. Nobody out. Hegan at first base. Padres delivers, and Pepitone squares the bunt and misses. Strike 1. Padres has no record this year. Hasn't won, hasn't lost. This is his 8th appearance, all in relief. Has a 3.46 earned run average. Johnny Padres again set. Here's the pitch to Pepe. Squares and bunts this one toward Padres. He's up with it, bobbles it. Finally gets rid of it in time to McAuliffe at first base. Padres very nearly blew the play as he stumbled over the ball and lost it momentarily. So Pepitone sacrifices Hegan to second base. That play went 1-4. Now here's Ellie Howard, who's 0 for 3. Walked and scored a run in the second, and bounced to third to short and struck out. Steve Whitaker on deck. He'll be followed by Bill Robinson. Well, let's see how they work it. Johnny Podgers has been around a few days. They're going to put Elston Howard on. They're going to pitch to Whitaker. So an intentional pass to Ellie Howard. Well, that'll put it on the shoulders of the Yankees' newest rookie, Steve Whitaker. He's been turning in the plays and getting the hits. The newest Yankees man of the hour, Steve Whitaker. Howard down to first base. Egan at second base. Whitaker the batter. Steve struck out, single to right, double to left, and walked. Seven tie, last of the 10th. Johnny Podgers, the veteran left-hander, sets. Here's a pitch to Whitaker. Curveball is low and outside, ball 1. Johnny Podgers, born in Witherby, New York. 34-year-old left-hander sets. Here's the pitch to Whitaker. Ground ball to McAuliffe at second. Goes for Howard. And it looks like a double play. They said Howard ran out of the baseline. It was a great play by Dick McAuliffe. Coming in, scooping up the ball, waving at Howard. And Larry Knapp at first base said Howard went out of the baseline. McAuliffe fired to first, and it's a double play. That one going 4-3. And now there's a big argument on the field between Howard and Knapp and Frank Cassetti. And Houck and Knapp are still going at it. So for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 10th, no runs, no hits, one man left, and the score after 10 full innings of play. Detroit 7, the Yankees 7.
If you're over 21, it's time you became a smart car buyer and joined the ranks of the thousands of satisfied customers who shop Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Here are the 3 basic rules for the smart car buyer. First, select the model you want, and then compare quality. Armory Garage boasts the largest selection of quality-tested late-model used cars in the area. 2, compare service. Armory's expert mechanics are qualified to service all the cars in the Armory lot. 3, compare price. Armory's tremendous volume assures you more for your car buying dollar. Be a wise car buyer. Drive into Armory Garage and talk over your used car needs with sales manager Art Neat. Let him introduce you to Armory's easy terms. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of a 101 time payment plan. Your credit is wealth at Armory. Follow the wise car buyer to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin in Albany.
So coming on right now to bat for Ray Euler is Gates Brown. And he'll be going up against Dooley Womack. Gates Brown coming on to bat for Ray Euler. Left-hand batter. Brown, a dangerous hitter. Takes a first pitch, curveball in there, strike 1. Brown batting only at 203. 1 double, 1 triple, 2 home runs. And there's a drive off the glove of Horace Clark. Brown digging for first. Clark recovers in time for the putout. That was a bullet that Clark jumped for and bounced off his glove. He went down with the ball, came up quickly, and recovered in time to retire Gates Brown by an eyelash at first base. That was a sinking line drive that Brown unloaded. So there's 1 up and 1 down here in the 11th inning, and now here's Johnny Podgers coming on to bat for himself. Womack delivers. The pitch is low. Ball one. 1-0 the count. Womack ready once again. Here's the pitch to Tigers. In there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Womack again to Padres. A curveball slapped toward the mound. Womack has it. Flips over to Hegan. 2 out. Well, we're 2 up and 2 down. Here in the top of the 11th inning. That'll bring up the center fielder, Mickey Stanley, who struck out, flied to center, bounced to second, walked and scored a run, and then flied to center again. Stanley coming up for the 6th time in this ball game. 0 for 4. Nobody on. Stanley at the plate. The pitch by Womack. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Bob Fischel has just announced over the press box PA that Howard was ruled out for running under the baseline. Curveball. Gets the corner. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Womack ready again. The 2-strike pitch way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7-7 tie. 11th inning. Tigers batting. Both teams with 7 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Even up across the board. Womack again to Stanley, and it's taken low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A half swing. Plate umpire Jerry Neudecker said he didn't go around, so it stands 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch to Stanley, foul back. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the sign on the board, Mike Epstein makes debut as senator here tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, when the Yankees entertain the Washington Senators. That's the first of 4 nights, and the first of 5 games is a twilight doubleheader Wednesday, and that game starts at 5. Third ball inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mickey Stanley, right-hand batter at the plate, on deck. Dick McAuliffe. Here's the payoff pitch to Stanley. A chopped ground ball to the third baseman, Kennedy, who's up with it to Hegan, and the side is retired. So it's 3 up and 3 down. And the score after 10.5, Detroit 7 and the Yankees 7.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go with the clean carburetor gasoline, Atlantic Imperial.
For business, for pleasure, in any kind of weather, Atlantic keeps your car on the go.
Imperial keeps the throttle plate of your carburetor free of harmful dirt deposits.
One of the places makes you think where the pleasure of driving can be.
For quality products from top-notch service, your Atlantic dealer is the man to see.
Let Atlantic Imperial clean your carburetor as you drive.
Atlantic keeps your car on the go, 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 so keep on the go with Atlantic.
Dick Trubisky has gone in to play shortstop for Detroit here in the bottom of the 11th inning. And he'll be batting in the number 8 spot. At the plate right now for the Yankees in the bottom of the 11th, it's Bill Robinson. He'll be followed by Kennedy and Womack. And the first pitch by Johnny Podgers is in there, strike 1. Podgers ready again. The pitch to Robinson. Ground ball to the right side. McAuliffe up with it. Flips over to Cash. 1 away. Well, there's 1 up and 1 down here in the 11th inning. A 7-7 tie, and now here's John Kennedy. Kennedy's home run in the 5th brought the Yankees a run closer. Then he drove in a run with a single in the 7th and later scored. Kennedy 2 for 4 in the afternoon as Padres delivers, and the fastball is outside, ball 1. The 1-0 delivery by Padres is in there, strike 2. He just reared back and unloaded a fastball. 7-7 tie, 11th inning. 1 away, nobody on. Padres again to Kennedy, and this one is high. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. In case you missed the announcement earlier, Gary Bell was traded from the Cleveland Indians to the Boston Red Sox for Tony Horton and Don Demeter. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Kennedy. Swings and misses. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Yankees won the first ball game, 5-0 behind Al Downing. Downing pitching a 5-hitter. All right, Padres, a 2-2 pitch to Kennedy. Fastball fouled on the screen in front of us, and the count holds 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's just a small section of the outfield that has a little sunlight on it now. That's way out toward the auxiliary scoreboard in right center. And the lights, the interior lights are on here at the stadium. Not all of them, just the interior lights around the infield. A changeup is low and outside to Kennedy. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Padres getting the sign from Freeman. The left-hander ready. The 3-2 delivery hit the center field. Deep to center field, but gliding back easily is Mickey Stanley, and he's got it. That ball is well hit, but to the biggest part of this ballpark. And then there are 2 down, and now here's Julie Womack coming on. Womack batting from the left side. Facing Padres, a ball delivered into center field. Stanley holding ground. He's under it, and he's got it. So Womack is out of there, and so are the Yankees at 3 up and 3 down. And the score, after 11 full innings of play, Yankees 7 and the Tigers 7. And look at the scoreboard right now. We're in the 18th inning in Baltimore. It's all tied up at 5 apiece. Cleveland beat Boston 3-0. In a doubleheader, the White Sox beat Kansas City 2-0, and they're all tied up at 1 apiece after 3 innings of play. Minnesota beat California 8-7 in 10 innings. Over in the National League, in a doubleheader, the Giants beat the Mets 7-0 in the first game, and they lead 2-0 of the second after 4. Philadelphia beat Houston 6-1. Pittsburgh over the Dodgers 4-1. Cincinnati took Atlanta 5-4, and the Cardinals beat the Cubs 4-3. That's the rundown on the scoreboard. We're going into the 12th inning. It'll be Dick McAuliffe coming on for the Detroit Tigers, and now to tell you all about it, here's Joe Garagiola. Joseph?
Okay, Jerry, Jimmy Womack against Dick McAuliffe. We've got extra innings here. If you think we've got extra innings here, how about Washington, Baltimore? There was 17th inning over there. Dick McAuliffe. This will be the 6th time at bat for McAuliffe. He'll walk twice. Jimmy Womack. They're facing McAuliffe, Don Wirt, and Willie Horton. McAuliffe gets in the batter's box now. Womack has assigned the pitch. It's a striker, curveball. Outfield swung around. They play McAuliffe to full. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 12th. 1-1 pitch. Foul back. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And right now in Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
1460 radio, WOKO in Albany, New York.
Womack looking in to get his sign from Elston Howard. McCall is waiting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Time call now as the firecracker went off in right field just as Womack was ready to deliver. Ready. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a bouncing ball. Mike Hegan nicely to his right. Up. Over to Womack in time. McCall is out. Hegan to Womack. So there's 1 away, and it brings up downward. Time call now as somebody from the upper deck threw a bunch of paper on the field. And the bat boys, they're doing extra duty. They had to retrieve it. Line drive, foul down the third baseline. John Kennedy really guarding the line. And almost that's impossible to get one between Kennedy and the line. As he's going to give it a base hit to his left, a single, to prevent that double, and then smashed by Wirt. Turned right around for a long, hard foul. Strike 1. Wirt has had 3 base hits. Womack delivers. A pop foul out of play beyond the Yankee dugout, and it's strike 2. Wirt bounced out third to first in the first inning and had singles in the third, fourth, and sixth innings, and bounced out third to first in the 9th inning. 2 strikes to count. Billy Womack gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Foul ball upstairs, out of play. 1 man out. Nobody on. Score tied 7-7. We're in the top half of the 12th inning. Yankees won the first game 5-0. The 2-strike pitch. Tap foul. Elston Howard retrieves it. It's a big breaking curveball. Looked like John Wood might have been fooled on the pitch. Once again, we're set. 2-strike count. Womack looking in, ready. Delivers to Don Wood. Low ball 1, missed with the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Elston Howard working both ball games. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on a fly ball, right center field. Pepitone going over fast. He's there, makes the catch. Nice running catch by Joe Pepitone. Don Wirt made a bid for extra bases, and here is Willie Horton. Horton had a base hit and scored in the 3rd inning with a single to left. He's 1 for 5. Womack with 2 outs, nobody on, ready, delivered. Swung on and tapped foul, strike 1. We're tied 7-7, top of the 12th. Kennedy guarding the line. Outfield deep. Hit by Womack. Swung on, smash, base hit, left field between Kennedy and the shortstop Hauser. So Willie Horton is on with a single, and it brings up Jim Northrup. Northrup has 2 base hits here in his 2nd game. The first base hit off Julie Womack. Mike Hegan holding against Horton. Horton's a big guy, but he can move. Womack ready, delivers. Swung on, bouncing ball to Hegan, big hop. He'll step on the bag. He does. Inning is over. No runs, one hit, no errors, one man left. Score at the end of 11 and a half innings, all tied. Detroit 7, New York 7.
Say, here's the White Owl girl. Let me ask you something. What do you think about Major League Baseball?
I think they should make every stadium twice as large. Then you can have twice as many people at every game.
But just what's that going to do?
From one fan here, it's knocking right out. And if you had twice as many men here, why, twice as many men would be enjoying White House. Look around. Rangers, Invincibles, New Yorkers. Why, they're all over. Just think. Twice as many men enjoying that slow-aged White Owl tobacco. It's mad to give that mild White Owl taste.
One more thing. Who do you think will be the big winner tonight?
Any man who lights up a White Owl. Because you'll discover something. You get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
I gotta hear that last line again.
You get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
It'll be Horace Clark, Dick Hauser, Mike Hegan for the Yankees. Here in the bottom half of the 12th inning, Billy Womack had a little bit of a streak stop. He had retired 14 men in a row over 5 games until a base hit by Willie Horton. Right now it's Johnny Padres against Horace Clark. Padres is ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on a foul ball into the stands. And a priest sitting in the first row made a catch. So strike one. Padres delivers. Swung on, foul tip, strike 2. Good high, tight fastball. Clark wants Newdecker to take a look at the ball. $33,454 started out here. Most of them still here. It's been a very exciting afternoon of baseball. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jim Boughton, the winning pitcher of Syracuse, defeated Jacksonville 2-1. Here's a pop fly, shallow left center field. Stanley coming on fast. He's there, makes the catch. Clark pops to Stanley. So there's one away. Here's Dick Hauser. Jim Boughton. The line score, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Syracuse, 1 run, 8 hits, no errors for Jacksonville. Boughton the winner, and Kashida was the loser. Hauser bunts one beautifully. McAuliffe hustles in and can't make the play. Dick Hauser, a beautiful push bunt. Got it by Johnny Padres. Norm Cash had to hold at first base, and the only man that had a chance was Dick McAuliffe. He came busting in. Made the bare hand pickup. Couldn't make the play. And here's Mike Hegan. Hegan, who went in as a pinch runner for Mickey Mantle. Hegan, left-handed batter, first time at bat this year for the Yankees. Ball 1 on Mike Hegan. He had batted once before, so it's his second time, looking for his first base hit. Hegan squares around, takes it low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Hegan taking a good look at Frank Rossetti. Dick Hauser is on his first base, winning the bottom half of the 12th inning, all tied, 7 apiece. Hauser a good lead at first. Padres at the belt. Checks the runner. Hauser delivers to Hegan. Outside, ball 3. Joe Pepitone, the on-deck hitter. 3 balls, no strikes. Padres set. Delivers. Strike. 3 balls and a strike now. Egan takes a good look at Crosetti. Hauser's just standing on the bag. Now he gets his lead. Padres gets his sign. Hauser, a good lead. He's holding. The pitch is swung on and it's popped up. Foul territory along the third base line, drifting into the stands. 3 balls and 2 strikes they count. There's a situation now. Houck has to make a decision. 1 man out. Base runner at first is Dick Hauser. They'll strike him out, throw him out if you run him. Get the base hit. When you run them, you got first and third. That's the gamble. Let's see what happens. Hauser leads, draws a throw. Back. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Egan. Hauser lead at first. He's going. The pitch is swung on and missed the throw. They're going to get him. Suzuki puts the tag on him, and that retires the side. Mike Egan out on strike. Freehand throw to Suzuki was in time to get Hauser. So it's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And the score at the end of 12 complete innings. It's all tied up. Detroit 7, New York 7.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to the circus of value-rated tested used cars now on display at Armory Garage Central at Colvin in Albany. Ringmaster Art Need is putting on the biggest used car show of the year. At used car headquarters this week are Bonnevilles, Mustangs, 300s, Barracudas, Impalas, Furies, and the spectacular Crowns and DeVilles. You'll cheer at the lowest prices ever on these mint-condition beauties that are ready to roll. At Armory, the selection is so great, you'll probably find the right car at the right price on your first visit. If by any chance you didn't, stop in again and check the stock. There are new arrivals daily. You can buy, sign, and pay at Armory, home of 101 time payment plans. Take years to pay. In fact, the first payment won't be due until July. Hop on the bandwagon and drive in to Armory Garage, Central at Colvin and Albany. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Bill Freehand will lead it off for the Detroit Tigers in the top half of the 13th inning. Willie Womack, who's done such a tremendous job for the Yankees, on the mound, delivers. Line drive, left field, it is a foul ball. 1 strike on Bill Freehand. The 1 strike pitch is a curveball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Out of the 13th. 1-1 pitch. Swung on a line drive, left field, near the line, coming over Robinson. He can't get it. It's a fair ball. 2-base hit. A ground rule double for Bill Freehand as the ball bounced into the stand, so he's on at second base. And it brings up Norm Cash. Here's Norm Cash with nobody out, Freehand on at second base. Time is called now as Willie Womack calls Elson Howard out to talk to him. 9 times out of 10 when that happens, it's because they switched times. And Womack wants to make sure. The fingers remain the same. 1 is always a fastball, 2 is a curve, and 3 a change-up or whatever off-speed that you have, fork ball, pound ball. But the indicator changes. And if you miss that, you might as well miss the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on a high fly ball, left field. Robinson under it and makes the catch, and Freehand cannot advance. Norm Cash hit the first pitch to left field, and here is Here's Kaline. Al Kaline is coming out. Kaline has come out of the dugout. Crowd reacting. Al Kaline. And Jerry Lumpy has come out from the on-deck circle as the Yankees are going to put Kaline on to set up the double play. There's ball 2. Ball 3. And ball 4. So Kaline is on at first base, and Jerry Lumpy has come out as a pinch hitter for Johnny Pondres. Kaline was batting for Suzuki. One man out. Lumpy, left-handed batter. Bill Freehan is on his second base. Al Kaline, the base runner at first. One man out. Top of the 13th inning. All tied, 7 apiece. Womack backs off the rubber as the Yankees from the dugout set up Bill Robinson on defense in left field. They moved him over towards the line. There's a lot of room in left center field. Womack is ready. Checks the runner's delivery. Outside, ball 1. Mickey Stanley is the on-deck hitter. 1 ball, no strike. Lumpy, a pinch hitter. Freehan, a good lead at second. Kaline to lead off first. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strike. Lumpy takes a look at Tony Cuccinello, working at third. Freehan edges off the bag at second. Kaline off first. Womack getting his sign. Has the one he wants. 2-0 pitch to Lumpy. Strike is called. Fastball caught the outside corner right at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike. Womack steps, delivers. Outside, ball 3, 3-1. Freehan standing on the bag at second, looking at Cuccinello. Kaline edges off the bag at first. 3-1 pitch to Lumpy. Swung on a line drive down the right field line. Foul. Foul ball. Just barely foul. Freehan had already rounded third. Jerry Lumpy made a bid for a base hit down the line in right field. So it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lumpy may have broken his bat. He's asking for a new one. John Kennedy says something to Dewey Womack. Calls him over now. Freehan looking at Cuccinello. He wants to know what to do. 1 man out. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lumpy. Kaline will be trailing the play. Mayo Smith has to make the decision now. Does he run his men? We don't know. Freehan edges off the bag. Kaline off first. Womack gets his sign. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There go the runners. The pitch is outside. Ball 4. The bases are loaded. Bases are loaded, and Mickey Stanley is being called back, and Bill Heath, the catcher, is being brought up as a pinch hitter. Heath is coming on as a pinch hitter. Bases are loaded, 1 man out. He came up originally with the Chicago White Sox. Bases loaded, one man out. He, in 1966, played at Amarillo and with Houston. A 301 average in Houston. Detroit bought him from Toledo, where he hit 349 in 12 games. Little left-handed batter, bases loaded. One man out, Julie Womack gets a sign from Howard. And here's the first pitch to Heath. Outside, ball one. Three hands on his third, Keyline is on his second, Lumpy's on his first. Top of the 13th, all tied 7-7. One ball, no strikes on Heath. Womack getting his sign, ready. Delivers to Heath. Strike. One ball, one strike, one out. Womack ready, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike two. One ball, two strikes, a big breaking curveball. Womack took something off the curveball, and Heath was way out in front. Infield is halfway. One man out. Bases loaded. Womack ready once again. The 1-2 pitch to Heath, the pinch hitter, is swung on and missed. He struck him out. A fastball. He threw it right by him. Heath tried to punch the ball the opposite field out on strike. And so there are two away. And here is Dick McAuliffe. McAuliffe, left-handed batter, two men out. Bases loaded. Score tied, 7-7, 13th inning. Womack ready, delivered. Low, ball one. One ball, no strike. Womack delivers a curveball. It's a strike. One ball and one strike now on Dick McAuliffe. Rehan is on his third. Keyline on the second. On his first, Jerry Lumpy. Rehan opened the inning with a double. Two base on balls. McAuliffe waiting. Here's the 1-1 pitch by Womack. Outside, ball two. Two balls and a strike. Two men out. Womack against Dick McAuliffe. Bases loaded. Womack ready. 2-1 pitch here. Swung on a high drive deep to right field. Going way back. That's a home run. Grand slam for McAuliffe. McAuliffe, with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike, hit a grand slam home run. And it's an 11-7 ball game. Deep to right field. Into the bleachers, over the auxiliary scoreboard. A home run. Curveball is low to downward for ball one. For McAuliffe, that's his 9th home run, 23 runs batted in. He hit the jackpot job. 1 ball, 1 strike now as Wirt fouls off the pitch. One ball, 1 strike. 2 men out. 11-7, Detroit leading. Fastball is swung on a line drive, foul. Dick McAuliffe, a grand slam home run, the 5th of his career. And the Detroit Tigers lead the New York Yankees 11-7. Here's the pitch to Wirt, swung on and missed. He struck him out. Julie Womack strikes out Don Wirt, retires his sign. But the Detroit Tigers score 4 runs on a grand slammer by McAuliffe, and the score at the end of 12 and a half innings is Detroit 11 and the Yankees 7.
Should a gentleman offer more than an evening to a lady, more than candlelight and small talk, more than just a night? Should a gentleman offer a Tipperillo to a lady? And what if he does? Well, baby, it's alright, yeah. Should a gentleman offer a Tipperillo to a lady? Now that you have Tipperillo Regular and new Tipperillo M with menthol, the question's even tougher. Should a gentleman offer a Tipperillo to a lady? And what if he does? Well, baby, it's alright, yeah. Tipperillo.
So we go into the bottom half of the 13th inning. A grand slam by McAuliffe. A big blast here. It's the 5th grand slam of his career. Bob Shepard making all the announcements as the Tigers have made all kinds of changes. Gayline's in right, Northrup in center, and Horton's in left. Cash, Lumpy, McAuliffe, and Wirt from first to third. And Mike Marshall is the new pitcher. Game has had everything. And a Gary opening up with a triple with the bases loaded. It had a pinch hit home run by Jake Gibbs in the bottom of the 9th to tie it. A fight in the 8th inning. We saw both benches empty out. And now a grand slammer by McAuliffe in the 13th. Joe Pepitone will lead it off here in the bottom of the 13th. Mike Marshall gets his sign, and here's the pitch to Pepitone. Swung on and fouled straight back. A fastball. 1 strike to count. Pepitone had a big first game, had a big home run, 2-run homer in the first inning, and then a triple in the 6th. He's got 1 base hit in this game. Marshall, ready, delivers. Curveball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That base hit by Pepitone ended on an exciting note. McAuliffe made a good play at second base, and Horace Clark tried to score all the way from second as McAuliffe was throwing the ball to Cash. Would have been the tying run had Clark been able to make it. Swing and a miss by Pepitone. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. (11-7). Tigers are out in front. Tigers have made 13 base hits. The Yankees have made 11. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marshall delivers to Pepitone. Swung on, a bouncing ball. Marshall off the mound will take the play himself, and he does. The ball was towards first base, and Norm Cash had broken to his right, and so Marshall, upon coming up with a big hop, just took the play himself. Here is Elston Howard. Marshall, ready? Here's the pitch. Went around, says Newdecker, strike 1. Howard started his swing, tried to check his swing, but had gone too far. Foul ball out of play, and it's strike 2. Two strikes on Elston Howard. Tigers 11, Yankees 7. Bottom of the 13th. Yankees won the first game 5-0. Here's the 2-strike pitch. High pop fly in the infield. Second baseman Jerry Lumpy calls for it, makes the play, 2 away, and right now in Yankee baseball, let's pause for station identification.
This is WOKO 1460 on your dial, Albany, New York.
Steve Whitaker against Mike Marshall with 2 outs, nobody on. Detroit leading by the score of 11-7. Marshall delivers to Whitaker. Low, ball 1. One ball, no strike. The on-deck hitter, Bill Robinson. 1-0 pitch to Steve Whitaker is a strike call over the outside corner. Man, this has been some kind of an afternoon for baseball. We've had everything. And it'll begin all over again tomorrow night. Washington comes to town. Mike Epstein will be on display. 1-1 pitch to Whitaker is high, ball 2. The Yankees spotted the Detroit Tigers, a 5-run lead. It ended up with Jay Gibbs tying it up in the bottom of the 9th as a pinch hitter, and then a grand slammer by McAuliffe. He's made it 11-7. 2-1 count on Whitaker with 2 outs and nobody on. Low, ball 3. Never know. Game. Is Gary a big triple? Man, I just got that Washington-Baltimore line score. 19 innings. Whitaker takes a strike. Baltimore, 7 runs, 16 hits, and 1 error. Washington, 5 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. Orioles win at 7-5 in 19 innings. The winning pitcher, Stu Miller. The loser was Pretty. Time of the game, 5 hours and 18 minutes. 3-2 the count on Whitaker. The pitch is swung on, a bouncing ball. Cash at first base has his steps on a bag, and that's the ball game. Steve Whitaker bounces out to Norm Cash, unassisted. That retires the side, ends the ball game, and the Detroit Tigers defeat the New York Yankees in their second ball game by the score of 11-7.